Hey, Andy.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world. Was smiling when I turned.
Thinking out the box, I'm an astronaut. I'm blasting off a planet, rocking cause catastrophe, and it matters more because I had it. Now I had a thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kinda shocking. They want a static with precision. I'm automatic, quarterback, I ain't talking shit.
What is good, Raider Nation? Welcome back to yet another episode of DSR. This isn't Raiders Live News Talk, but it's a special first time we're doing this ever. It's a live Friday Report YouTube show. So we got a huge panel for you guys today, joined by my friends Dustin, Cortez, Josh, Noah, Sergio, Eric, and Ray. Say what's up, everybody.
What's good,
What's
Raider?
up,
Raider
Nation?
It's good.
What's going on?
What's good, Raider Nation? We hope you guys are having a great Friday night so far. Saturday morning, depending wherever you are in the world. Hopefully, you guys are watching us from other countries. And let's enjoy the show. Take it away.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah. Salute everybody. Salute to everyone in the comments and watching along with us. Salute to all the mods in the chat. Thank you everyone for on a Friday night collecting with us. Like I said, we have a huge panel. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of discussion, a lot of back and forth, a lot of great topics. We got a lot prepared for today, so it's going to be a good one. Just a couple of quick reminders, as always. Just make sure to like and subscribe to whichever channel you're on right now, whether it be DSR Aftermath or just our original DSR channel, as well as Cortez's channel,
The Nation's Nightmare.
Right. Okay. So I think Cortez put the links to the Aftermath channel as well as the DSR. Yeah, he put the links to two of those channels in the comments right now, so you can check that out. So if you're on one
You should post
stream
it,
and
Cortez. Post it in the Discord too right now, the actual stream.
I'll go grab it.
okay, so for all those watching, if you're watching on one channel, you haven't gotten the chance to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to the other channel, go ahead and feel free to do that right now or at any time during this broadcast. Because like I said, it's all good stuff no matter what channel.
You just want me to
doing
put
it
it
on.
in general?
Yeah, just put it in general. Just put the vid stream in there.
Okay. Without further ado, while Cortez will take care of that, let's just get right into it. So let's get into our first topic, which is going to be Sergio's. He's going to start us off talking about how there was one big sort of rumor or theory, whatever you want to call it, a bombshell. In any case, that Bill Plaschke, a reporter for the Los Angeles Times, he gave his theory or his 2 cents on, I believe it was ESPN's Around the Horn, of which he's a constant presence and contributor. He gave his theory that essentially Mark Davis is too poor. He's too, in his exact words, I believe, were cash poor to fire Josh McDaniels. And so for that reason, Raider Nation is going to have to buckle in and deal with this for at least another couple years to come, because apparently Mark Davis and Josh McDaniels had ultimately agreed on a 4-year contract before the start of this season. So with that, Sergey, if you want to get us started, just to start the topic about whether you think that's valid, or if you think it's complete malarkey, or whatever you believe. So go right ahead.
All right. So I wanted to talk about this because I just think how now basically the Raiders is like seen as like just a poor franchise now, especially since now you're just in Vegas and everything and your revenue is going up.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because since you're already paying John Gruden and now you're paying Josh McDaniels, I'm assuming that the McDaniels contract, we already know it's 4 years, but I
Right.
think it's probably around 8 million because that's what he got last time as a Broncos head coach. But I think it's just a way of trying to get media to divide the fan base and Mark Davis even more, trying to make it seem
Mm-hmm.
like that Davis has made so many poor decisions that he's just wasting money now, even though he's now a billionaire now. Like, he's no longer like that millionaire that's struggling to get good coaches or good players. It's
Right.
And the Raiders franchise is now like one of the most richest NFL franchises, while Davis gets half of the shares. So it doesn't make any sense to me why Davis doesn't have enough money to just fire McDaniels and then just get a new coach.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I
Yeah, but
definitely
you can't. So the reason why is because Mark Davis's actual net worth is only $300 million. You can be worth $5 billion, but he's not. The Raiders, as an organization, is valued at that. So one, when you have cash assets and then value versus net worth value, which he's going to have to pay, that's what he pays. So when he gets rid of Gruden, you're still owing $50 million, and then you're going to fire. Just say at 8 million, that's what at 1632 million. So you're looking at like $80 million that Mark's going to have to pay out over those years. That's a lot of money,
I just
man.
feel like that media is just trying to make Davis look more stupid. And
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Davis is that stupid. I mean, I'm pretty sure
Right.
he's a very smart businessman in what he's doing. Sure, he might not be as talented in football wise as the other owners, but I don't think he would put himself in like a rabbit hole.
I'm like,
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm calling BS too, just because of a couple simple facts. Whatever the realities and the specifics of the business model of the Raiders, or their status right now. Certainly, what's true is that they spent over $1 billion on Allegiant. They spent $440 million on contracts this year,
2.1.
and last year. Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that came
They
from the
spent
casino
440
owner.
million.
The casino owner did that, and then the NFL gave Mark a loan. That's how they got that shit done.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, the expenditure's there, so the potential to pay out all that money is certainly there. However you get it, however you figure it out, like I said, the specifics are not really at issue here. The other thing is that the Raiders led the league in ticket revenue, and I get that, like, you're only supposed to keep a cut of that, and it goes into a pool for to split amongst the rest of the owners to make things more equitable, and that I understand. But I mean, all of these things don't indicate a poor franchise. I mean, maybe to some extent they're cash poor, as Bill Plaschke put it, in the sense that because they've spent so much money, they don't have a lot of liquidity on hand. They don't have money to spend right now. But as Sergio pointed out, I mean, the contract of Josh McDaniels should be peanuts compared to, what they're spending on guys like Devontae Adams, even what they gave to Waller and Renfro, even to Carr, even though as non-committal or as loophole oriented that contract appears to be. Um, it just doesn't really add up to me, and I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's a pride thing. I think Mark Davis is
Look,
looking at.
if you look at it like this, if you pay John Gruden's 10 million, right? You pay Josh's 8, that's 18 million, and you go get
Right.
Sean Payton, you're gonna pay him 10 million. That's $28 million that Mark has to pay out of his own physical pocket. $28 million. That's a lot of
But
fucking money every
Yeah.
year.
He figured out how to pay $2 billion for a stadium and
He
almost a
didn't
half
pay
a
that.
billion dollars. The point is that the Las Vegas Raiders figured it out. So in the same way that they can figure out the stadium, they can figure out these contracts, and they can lead the league in ticket sales. They can also figure out how to fire this guy's ass because it needs to happen. And as Sergio pointed
Not
out,
only that,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Jeff. I just don't think McDaniels is that expensive because literally,
Right.
you look at the most expensive head coaches, like Sean McVay, he's getting up to 18 million. He's earned that. He's proven that. You got John Harbaugh getting 10 million. Mike
Bill
Tomlin
Belichick.
is getting 8 million. Andy Reid's getting 8 million. I don't see how McDaniels can prove why he deserves, say, 10 million.
He
Even
ain't getting 10.
18.
He's not getting $10 million.
Even 18, as exorbitant as that might be, that's nothing compared to, like I said, an organization that's dealing in the billions right now. That's nothing. And to me, like the whole Bill Plaschke argument about the financial reasons behind not firing Josh is BS. I think it's more of a pride thing. Like Mark Davis is looking at it like, oh shit, I fucked up. I hired a Patriots assistant who already himself has a record of not being a good coach in this league at this level, at this position. And now he's like, well, I committed to a 4-year contract, so I'm already, I don't feel like getting rid of him now. He's being cheap, and being cheap doesn't necessarily mean like he can't do it. It's just that he doesn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a key difference of being able to doing something and wanting to do something. And it's also like, I think he also might be sort of still mesmerized by the fact that Josh has 6 rings. But like I said, I think I said it on Monday, I'm sure there's a janitor at Gillette Stadium who has 6 rings right now. That doesn't mean you should hire him as the head coach of your football team. So like, and the Belichick coaching tree is such that he surrounds himself with yes men. He just surrounds himself with guys that are willing to do whatever it takes. I mean, he converted Matt Patricia from defensive coordinator to an offensive coordinator in 1 year. So that just proves that like these guys are expendable. They're you can move them around. They're I just don't really see I don't see the value in them, especially as head coaches for those reasons. So um, I don't. I guess so. Whoever would like to go next to add to this, if anyone wanted to add anything, Josh, would you like to go?
Yes. So we want Sean Payton. No. We want somebody else that's good. But has anyone ever thought of hiring what's his name? Bill Musgrave. He made Carr. Musgrave made the 2016 version of Carr. So it would make sense to bring him back as an offensive coordinator for McDaniels, or at least let Musgrave take over and let McDaniels do the offensive coordinator stuff. Because anyone, I'm like, I've seen all these videos saying Peyton this, Peyton that. No, what about Musgrave? Like, I'm just putting out there. And plus,
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to pay like tens of millions for that guy. So
mhm. Yeah, no, I mean the Musgrave, ideas like that are interesting. I personally think because partly, because I'm impatient as a fan of this team. This is now 2 decades where we haven't won a playoff game, and we've only had 2 playoff appearances. I'm in the mindset of Mark Davis needs to look at who has proven themselves as a head coach in this league at this level doing this. There really isn't any room or any time for these, pontifications about, well, this guy potentially could be a head coach. I mean, it's worked when you look at former coordinators who are now head coaches in the rookie year right now, and Kevin O'Connell, Mike McDaniel, and Brian Dable, and that's worked out really well. But at the same time, I mean, those teams, haven't had the lack of success that we've had over the past 20 years. I mean, the Dolphins, they haven't been particularly good. I mean, the Vikings have had, you know, some success. So, like I said, it is a gamble, but at the same time, I mean, personally, as a Raiders fan, like I don't think we can mess around with coordinators. I mean, it might work, but I really just think, I personally think it's Sean Payton and even Jim Harbaugh, because Jim Harbaugh, I got to tell you, he's probably not beating Ohio State this year. He may very well get fired, and he might be on the street. And I think that's a guy, it's a dark horse that they can make a run at. So I'm done with the coordinators, to be honest with you, for now.
If we are worried about coordinators, why don't we, what's his name? We should get Jack Del Rio again. He's not on a team. And again, like you said, we need a coach, someone who's proven themselves at the high level. Jack Del Rio has done that. Look where it led him before Carr's injury. And Carr knows his system. And who knows, maybe bring Musgrave or keep McDaniels. Instead of letting go and wasting money, you could be using McDaniels as an offensive coordinator. Putting Jack Del Rio as the head coach. And remember, Del Rio can help Patrick Graham with the defensive side because he's defensive-minded.
Yeah, no, I mean, at least, the guy like Del Rio, the head coaching experience is actually there. Like I said, it's always a gamble any way you cut it. If a guy has never been a head coach before, there's intel that you get, and there's feeling from other people around the league that he may or may not be good, whoever it is. But like I said, given the context that the Raiders are in, and the lack of success over the past 20 years, I just don't want to take that gamble. I want a proven commodity really at the head coaching level, which I think with Gruden made sense. That was something that made sense. So I think they need to go more. They need to look for guys like that, and I think that like I said, Sean Payton, Harbaugh, as well as maybe even Jack Del Rio, somebody like that with actual head coaching experience would be the better way to go.
Well, I mean, everyone's saying, "Oh, Carr's gonna be Carr's gonna be stay." Because if Carr goes, you know what that means for Adams. He'll go.
Nah, Adams is a Raider first. I don't think he would be that loyal to the friendship with Carr, because NFL is also a business. I don't believe
nobody's gonna give up a Hall of Fame career for their best friend. I mean, fucking tough shit. Move on.
Yeah. As much as I respect with the people who want to strongly believe it, I don't even think. Sure, it was one of the reasons why
he's
Adams
let me turn down $40 million.
But Adams wants his family to watch him play. His family are Raider fans. He wants to be a Raider. He wants to end his career as a Raider.
Yeah, I mean, I
he ain't giving up that money, and he ain't giving up a Hall of Fame career for Derek Carr, so it's not going to happen.
All right, well, let's see. I'll put what's his name? We need to bring back Del Rio or Musgrave before we consider Sean Payton. At least talk to them first.
Musgrave ain't never going to be the coach here, bud.
Wow, what that's
not going to happen.
For me, this regime talking about the youth movement. Why can't the head coach be young? You look at the trend with
Josh is staying here.
Coaches.
I mean, we could talk about another coach. Josh is fucking here. I mean, he ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere.
If that motherfucker already made it clear as day, that fool is not going anywhere.
Mark Davis made that shit clear.
Even if this team somehow changed its mind, the new head coach, I want him to be young, because this trend of new head coaches, they're young, they're in their late 30s, and they've been successful. You're looking at the new ones now, like Mike McDaniel when Kyle Shanahan started, Sean McVay started,
or
the Bengals head coach.
The DC for the Niners is
Yeah, but what you would want to start paying attention to then
Michael Ryan?
is you'd want to start paying attention to the link trees where they all came from. Because a lot of those guys came from, especially like Mike McDaniels, he's been through like 10 different teams, dude.
And that's
Through
what I
all
like.
kinds of different systems and good.
And that's
You
what I
go
like.
look at
Give me a young
Tomlin,
guy.
Dabo.
Give me a young guy that's
Dabo
proved
is that
himself through that.
he does
Lombardi
the
went
same
through the
shit,
Raiders
fucking
or
same
through the
systems through
Niners.
the East Coast.
That's what I didn't like about the Josh McDaniels is like he got hired young, but he's only been through one system, and he's still in one system. You look at the other guys like Mike McDaniel; he's been through
going back
multiple
to
systems, and
Miami,
he was successful in it.
Going back to Miami, that coach made the offense easy. With Josh McDaniels, is more harder to learn. And then Dable too has a easier terminology of learning the plays.
True. I mean, Brian Flores should have been another candidate, but too at that time he was too controversial. You know.
I would have liked Brian Flores because he just looks like a Raiders head coach. Because he looks like he does not care what you say. He knows how to win. But with that Dolphin situation, the owner just wanted him to tank.
Yeah, it's funny. He got paid to lose. Like this felt like the Sixers back in the day when they were tanking on purpose to win. Sam Hinkie,
He
right?
literally got fired because he won 8 games in a row.
Right.
Oh, or I'm gonna go crazy. I'm about to go crazy here. Or we keep McDaniels and then wait for me to become our new head coach.
Or we call up Rich Gannon.
Perfect decision.
I'll be old by then. You feel free, bud. Feel free by then.
Too.
I already, but on a serious note though, I might consider that because I don't know.
What offense would you bring to the table? You run West
better.
Coast or East Coast offense?
Well, I'm gonna run.
Hey, just watch when he goes out there and kicks the shit out of them donkeys here on this weekend.
Nah, he's gonna do
I'm
it.
telling you,
He's
I think this
it.
shit's just a fucking set, dude. Like I said it from day one. You can't have the points and running the offense the way you do and suck. Like you can't do that.
4 years,
you got fucking 10 points. You got 10 points in a game. I'll agree. I'd agree 100%.
For the next 4 years, McDaniels is going to make a Broncos game personal.
Hey, damn right he will. Hey, he gonna sweep them every single time.
Hey, because he always loses with the Broncos. So
if you're putting it like that, so what Derek Carr did last week was a publicity stunt.
I don't know. I think what Derek Carr because I don't think Derek Carr knows what fucking Josh got's going on in his head. What Derek Carr is probably sitting there thinking is, hey, I could have won this fucking game, and why'd you call those fucking plays? Or why are these guys not playing? Or I don't know the personal aspect of what players are doing, but you can't just wall it. I mean, like I've said, the math don't lie. One thing in life, math don't lie, and numbers don't fucking lie. He averaged 10 points per game, I'd agree. The guy sucks. The guy averages fucking 27 till the Saints, and he's probably averaging 20 to 22 right now. Like, you can't say you suck when you do that.
Sure, maybe
but
we
the
can blame
Saints
McDaniels,
are really bad too.
Sure, we can blame McDaniels for the bad play call, but
I mean, they can blame whatever the hell they want. The defense is fucking ranked 27th. They fucking don't perform to be able to close out games. I mean, you go give teams like fucking the Bears, fucking the Ravens, fucking the Patriots. You go give good defensive teams fucking leagues like that at 21 points. They're going to fucking be able to stop teams. We go get 21 points. We fucking lose games.
Nah, the defense in every different defensive formation, they're only good at a cover 6 or pure man coverage.
And everything else is ranked like 32nd and 27th.
So they're only good if everyone's covering the field to make sure no pass happens, or if one guy is focusing on one guy.
Yeah. And you think about that. That's through every single play style. Every one.
They stuck at every other formation.
Fuck, dude. They're like I said, they're ranked 32nd, 27th, 20 fucking 8. Like they're not. And then like the one you're saying, I think they're like 16th. You know, like the one damn deal or the other. Those are the only ones.
Yeah, pure man-to-man covers are like they're pretty good. Cover 6, I think they're like 6th best.
Yeah. That's why I just say, man, the defense got to be able to pull up too, man. If teams are going and getting 21, 24 points in a game, some fucking teams ain't even coming close to scoring that many points, period, in a game. But for some reason, when any team plays the Raiders, they score 30. Fucking regular day, that guy kind of put up 12, 14 points against another team. Us, fuck, 30, 35, easy.
Bro, they made Matt Ryan look like his 2016 self.
Damn right. I mean, shit, look at every guy talk on every single channel after we sat here and talked about that on Monday about how they left the end of that field open. That was the most talked about play this whole entire week. You can't just go from stopping on a team and then all of a sudden just give them 15 yards and let them run diagonally across the whole entire field. You know, look at what Tim Brown said. He's like, man, there's some shit going on here 100%. How do you go into the Texans, beat that ass like that, and come out and stonewall in the next game? He's like, shit, I've been there. He's like, I know. He's like, that shit don't happen.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, it was a shootout against the Texans. Like that was pretty sad up until like the third quarter. It came down to like a false start on the Texans' part.
We 21-0'd them in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter is where the defense kind of stepped up.
Back and forth. I mean, that game was pretty sad, if you ask me.
Hey, that's facts, Soul. That's facts.
And here's the other thing, right? So let's look at a different example. The Chiefs, right? The Chiefs seem to be split in half. In other words, you have two legendary minds on either side of the game in Steve Spagnuolo and Andy Reid. So it seems like the two of them sort of have an agreement, like, I'll handle the defense, I'll handle the offense. And that seems to be working. That's fine. Like, obviously, the Chiefs, since Andy Reid has taken over, have been an offensive-oriented team. You know, the idea has been, just the defense will be as good as it can be under Spags, but, just, play defense well enough to sustain the offense. That's fine. However, the whole point of being a head coach is you can't just step back and say, when the defense doesn't work, I'm a coordinator. I'm just calling the plays. I'm just managing the offense. And I think this is like the fundamental problem with Josh McDaniels. He doesn't understand that he's in charge of the entire team. If your defense is leaking like that, you need to go to your defensive coordinator and you need to say, okay, what needs to change? Do you need more help? Do you need to trade for somebody? Do you need to sign somebody? Do we need to, redesign our philosophy? Do we need to call better plays on defense? Something has to change. Do I need to get Ziegler to go out and find somebody? Do you need more coaches? This is the kind of stuff that a head coach has to worry about. And also, like, I mean, the offense really hasn't been great. Like, I think they're ranked like 19th right now in the league. That's that's not impressive. I mean, they put up 20 points. That's pretty beatable in today's NFL. I mean, maybe before the forward pass that was okay, but the 20 points is very beatable from an offensive standpoint. So
what's so weird is that they're like statistically like a good offense, but they are just so inconsistent that it's hard to tell if you're just bad or good. But if you're inconsistent, I'm just going to call you bad at least.
I mean, yeah, it's as simple as this, right? Like, we could argue right now that they're purposely losing, like they're tanking.
I mean, go pull up the games right now and you can prove it. Go look at it. Derek Carr, 248. Fucking Devontae Adams, 141 yards. Fucking Jacobs, 140. How the fuck you don't win that game? How do you not win that?
Well,
Derek Carr, 158. Fucking 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 148. Touchdown. Fucking Jacobs. I mean, how do you lose games like that? How you doing that?
Well, I mean,
fucking teams are lucky if they get a receiver over 100 yards, let alone a halfback too. They're fucking putting up damn near 200-300 just between them two players.
Well, I mean, stats aren't everything. I mean, you think about statistically. No, look, seriously, statistically, Carr against the Jaguars had a clean game. But when you actually watch that game, the offense completely died in the second half. Like that's not good coaching. That's not taking into account, the context of the game in order to win it. Like, you can't be blowing leads like that. Like any way you look at it, like,
I know Derek Carr got to put up fucking 450 fucking yards a game,
It's not that.
fucking
It's that
5
even.
touchdowns. Like
It's even
fucking,
Adams. Adams during an interview publicly questioned why McDaniels changed the whole offensive plan in the second half. The passing
Devontae's
game.
on track to be fucking one of his greatest years. Fucking, that's including Aaron Rodgers every year with them. I mean, fuck, get out of here.
Yeah, it's because they're tanking for more
Like
draft picks.
Adams literally said the passing game was working. I was catching every ball. Why'd you change it to the running game when the running game wasn't working in the first half?
They want to get more draft picks and move. That's why they have the top pick right now. They can move down from that and get more picks and add more talent.
thank you for saying this, Mr. Took Your Soul, because this is
That's
anyway.
It doesn't matter if it does or not. Mark, like again, we can go over this 100 times. Mark probably told him tank, so it doesn't fucking matter if he loses or not because he don't fucking care, and that's facts. That's factual truth.
And that's why Mark Davis said that he's doing a fantastic job because he wants.
So it don't fucking matter if it falls on the head coach. If he's told to lose the fucking game, he's gonna lose the fucking game, and people
It's
are gonna say
also
it
this is
falls
like the
on him or
first
not. You're gonna
time.
still have that team next year and build it the way they are.
This is
Like
also
I
like
said, the
first
points
time I'm
don't lie,
seeing
dude.
This is like the
The
first
fucking
time I'm seeing
Jets
a
are
head
beating
coach that
teams with
doesn't care if he
17 and
loses.
20 fucking points. Like, come on.
This is like the first time I see a head coach that literally just doesn't care if he loses. He just shows no emotion if he loses.
It's
He's
for
like,
them
oh
to
well,
get
we'll get him
more-
next time. It's
Yeah.
It's for them to get
like,
more
dude, you're
draft
losing.
picks.
At least show some
He's like a
emotion.
rec
Like that
baseball
just
coach.
shows to me he just doesn't
But-
care if he's losing.
They're trying to get more draft picks so they could add more players to the youth.
I mean, he's already got 12, 15. Like, I think he's good.
Heck, you
He
trade
just needs
Waller, he's
the,
gonna
all
get
he
more.
needs is the
He may
position
want to
now.
keep a quarterback to sit
He
behind
just
Carr
needs
for
the
2 years.
position so he can trade around some of those draft picks for better picks. That's all he needs.
You trade Jacobs and Waller, you get more. There's still talks that Waller won't be here next year.
And he shouldn't be.
Yeah, he shouldn't. He's trash. He should leave. Fuck Waller.
You said it
Combined with
yourself.
Waller
Fucking
and
Foster
Jacobs.
putting up same numbers as he is in the same span and doubled. So
Yeah,
I'm
with
guaranteeing
you
next
get rid of
season
Waller
we're
and
gonna get
Jacobs
as
and
much
trade,
value for Waller as
you
we
probably
get
got up to
now.
20 picks now.
and then you take a guy like Jacobs and put him out there, you're gonna be back in the first round with fucking 2-3 picks. You know, like
Hey, Dustin,
you might have a chance at Jalen Carter and Andre Carter, or what is it? Andre Carter, dude from
Jalen Carter.
Jalen, but then the other guy,
Oh yeah, Andre. His name.
Andre
also
from
Andre.
frickin' Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you imagine your first 2 picks in there, those 2 guys, like shit.
Hey, Dustin, not to say anything, but there are 66 inches of snow at Orchard Park.
Nah, if you saw the Buffalo Stadium, that whole stadium is like it's like filled.
It's 66 inches in less than 24 hours.
And
Yeah, that's crazy,
it's still
dude.
snowing there.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
24th high or the highest 24-hour total of snow.
A little
ever
bit of me
recorded
though
in New
wanted to
York.
see Nick Chubb struggle through that snow. I wanted to see it.
Let me see if I can. There's a great meme about that. Hold on.
I wanted to see Singletary and Chubb struggle through that.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying if you get frickin' Jalen Carter out there, man, I mean that dude's
He's
a
a
beast,
monster.
dude, and he takes
just-
double team every time. Like that fool get double team every time, and
Nah,
still
Just imagine him
he's
with,
good, man.
with Mad Max. That's going to be destruction
Nah,
right there on the D line.
if you can get Andre and Jalen Carter and you can line him up with Max Crosby, that's a
Oh,
perfect
it's over,
young.
bro.
That's a
over.
perfect
It's
young
over.
Need a
D-line.
lot of holding on the opponent's offense.
You know,
Heck.
a lot of people also forget, like, we still have Sincere McCormick sitting out, dude. Fucking, we still have good players sitting out. So,
Heck, and now we get to see what Britton Brown has since he's finally getting snaps.
yeah, that's
Hey, Brandon
facts.
Brown, like I'm
I love
putting
Bretton Brown. He's my favorite player, bro. I'll tell you right now, that dude's going to kill
UCLA
it.
has a good track record with running backs. I mean, look at their running back right now.
Dude, he has a
Um,
great stutter step, dude, that'll just leave you standing in your tracks, bro, while he goes
Wasn't
the
he the
opposite
leader
way.
in preseason? Wasn't he the leader in preseason?
He was
I don't
really
know.
good in preseason.
Yeah, he was.
People thought that we were gonna try to get trade capital as he was a rookie because how good he was in preseason. Because everyone was confused why no one's starting him or playing him in the regular season.
We need some big corners too in the backfield, tall.
Nah, but the thing though, here's how the Chiefs' defense is good, but it's also bad at the same time. So we know their corners are just awful, but how they're good is that their D line is like one of the best defensive lines in football, and that's the first thing you need in the defense is if you can pressure the QB or get through their O line or stop their run game, which the Chiefs can do, then that helps out your cornerbacks because that gives them more time to try to stop their receivers. If you have a line like our line that can't do anything, that QB can just be like a Matt Ryan that's 40 years old and run 40 yards.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, dude. Just crazy. I mean, this year, dude, you're stacked up. You're gonna get you. They can get an edge rusher in the top 50 easily to pair up with Max. They can get a pretty good dang pair up there. Get good linebackers. I mean, they got good players defensively in this draft, so I think it'll be a good one this year for sure.
They got to get
even the one from Washington, Dustin, from the Huskies. Eric's favorite dude, the Hawaiian. He's good too, Dustin.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of them though. They got one from USC. They got the Huskies. They got them from Boise. They got them all over the damn place.
There's a badass receiver too in the draft. Dustin, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking up draft prospects. I think that, dude, honestly, I think they should but they should spend one of their picks on that receiver out of Tennessee that had that monster game.
Look at the one from
I think it'll just depend on where he goes. I think it'll just depend where he goes in the draft.
If he's in that second round, I want him.
Hell yeah. And we would have the perfect chance because we're going to be fucking 1, 2, or 3. Fuck.
Let's see. Mock draft database.
Because if we need at least one speedy wide receiver, and that's going to help out the offense a lot.
Dude, they got some good speed in this draft too. They got guys that are 6'2", running 4.3 40s, dude. They got guys running 4.2 40s. I mean, they got good speed in this one this year.
Are we assuming that?
You ever had one glitch?
One from the Huskies, Dustin.
Assuming what?
Are we assuming that that we're going to get rid of Carr and then they're going to draft one of Bryce Young or CJ Stroud?
No, I don't think they go quarterback. I think they're going to go
and
defense.
sit up behind Carr.
They might get a young QB, maybe like in the middle rounds, like third, second, fourth. But they'll just boost the crap out of the defense and take advantage of the rookie contract and maybe get a Tom Brady on a cheap deal, get a Jimmy G on a cheap deal, or maybe just start the rookie right away.
Yeah, I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going quarterback. I mean, you go quarterback, you're fucking rebuilding your whole fucking team. Promise you that.
Yeah, at that point, if you get like a quarterback in the first round, like to me, that's just a whole rebuild.
Fuck yeah, you go get a guy like fucking Jalen Carter, and now you're talking. You go get fucking somebody like fucking Will Anderson, you're talking about improving a fucking side that's shit. And you got it at a young deal, and you can do that in the first 2 rounds. The first 2 rounds, you can get corner, you can get linebacker, you can get edge rusher, you can get D tackle, you get safety. Like they got good ass talent in the first 2 rounds, easily in the defense.
Even the third, Dustin, with that corner.
I mean, I can see him going anywhere between 3 and 5, 3 and 7 with the quarterback. And then not only that, you got to think they have a lot of draft picks that are later on in the later rounds. If you say we get an early round pick, say top 3, you could always package one of our picks with some of those 7s and move back in with the better picks. So we always have a better chance having early draft picks to package. You're going to get more value from it.
Yeah, we should get Bo Nix.
Nah.
No.
Yeah, I said I'll get him. I'll get that fool.
Get Bo Nix just in spite.
Hey Eric, how do you feel about Washington?
He's accurate as fuck, bro. Like that fool's accurate as fuck, man. You put him with Josh and let him just sit back there with Carr. He might be good.
I will laugh if this team drafted Bo Nix.
No, Bo Nix is not him. He ain't it.
Watch him be him.
He don't.
Yeah,
Hey, you guys
Yeah,
don't like him. Hey, every time Bo Nix, he'll take the
trust
fucking
me.
water boy than Bo Nix.
Trust me, Bo Nix can be him somewhere else.
What about the
Like
Huskies quarterback, Eric?
I told you, Michael Phoenix, he cool. I'm glad he left Indiana because they didn't know how to use him properly. He goes down to Washington where it's cold and balls out. And balls out. So him, if he was available second, third round, I'll take him.
Who is it?
Gladly.
Who?
Like
Washington Huskies quarterback.
yeah,
Who?
Michael Phoenix Jr.
Oh yeah.
Now, if he's available second, third round,
I'd take
give
him
him a
in the
call.
third round. I don't know if I'm wasting my pick in the second for him. No
Well,
way.
third or fourth. Third or
Yeah,
fourth round.
I would do that because I think there's so much talent in this first two rounds in the defense. Like I said, you can solidify your front line instantly just in those first two, and then say that you trade out freaking Jacobs. Bam, puts you right back in because he's gonna get a first round pick, guaranteed.
He either
So
gonna
you're gonna be
get
right back in the first round, double dipping. So you can
Jake.
end up with three damn good defensive quality players. So I've said if we're going to be honest and say that we want to win, I don't give a fuck. I've watched football and played it my whole life, played it at a high level, and I know for a fucking fact that defense is straight fucking garbage, and I don't give a fuck. If I'm going to say that we want to blame this, or good, blame it. I don't give a fuck. He's still going to lose. Defense is what needs to be fixed, and until the defense is fixed, I don't give a fuck if Carr got to put up fucking 50 points a game. That's stupid. That's dumb to even have a conversation like that. It's hella dumb. Motherfucker puts up 21, 28, and we're over here fucking talking about, oh, this is that. Yeah, motherfucker, the defense shouldn't allow 28. That's not how the game's fucking played. The game ain't played. Oh, the defense matched the offense. It ain't played. The defense puts up more points than the fucking offense. It's not played that way. The defense is supposed to have less motherfucking points. That's why you got fucking paid the money you get. That's why there's 11 motherfuckers on that side of the fucking field. Otherwise, why don't you just put a QB and a receiver on there and see who scores the most points in X amount of plays for the fucking 60 minutes? Because that's not how the game's played. You got to have fucking both sides. The defense lacks, dude. They fucking lack. I don't give a fuck if a guy goes 3-0. He got 21, 24 on the board. I don't fucking care. Like, that shit's crazy. That's hella crazy. Fucking dude got to go put up fucking 35 fucking points per game just to even have a chance. Jimmy Garoppolo over there with the Niners, he don't even score a fucking touchdown. Fuck, don't even score a fucking touchdown, fucking wins. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
He's got a really good record if he doesn't score a touchdown.
10-2. Right. He's 10-2 in that. 12 fucking games he ain't fucking scored a touchdown and he fucking won 10 of them. Like, that shit's fucking mind-blowing as fuck, and we're over here fucking criticizing dudes that are fucking scoring fucking multiple. It's just crazy.
I mean, yeah, like, obviously the Niners have a better defense than we do, but, I mean, it's more of just, like, whatever you want to say about the first 5 games, everyone was saying there's going to be a point where we're going to, like, be, like, 7-2, 6-3, just because we have, like, a very winnable schedule. And they've won every single game that they're supposed to. They made the Saints look like.
That's analytics, dude. That's analytics. Every single fucking deal had the Chiefs ranked towards the bottom the whole entire offseason. Fucking said that they lost pace. That's from fucking dudes on TV, ESPN, Good Morning America, fucking Stephen A, fucking Max Keller, every fucking guy across there, and they're dominating the fucking NFL. Like, an analytics number doesn't mean shit. The team plays, teams, everything or not. Like they said, that they should be losing. Motherfuckers got a 98% playoff clinch already. Like, fuck.
Who has a 98% playoff clinch?
Yeah, they got like
talking about the
96,
Chiefs?
98% fucking clinched playoff already.
I
We
mean,
have
yeah, the
one.
rest of their division is incompetent. Yeah, I mean that. I'm just saying, like, regardless of what like any like expert quote unquote says, like, shouldn't we have beaten the Saints? Shouldn't we have beaten the Jaguars? Shouldn't we have beaten the Colts? Like, to me, it's just sad.
What sucked more is that
But
after that Saints
I'm
game,
looking at
Saints
QB
immediately
factor.
loses to Ravens and Steelers in a horrible fashion.
Exactly.
What was it?
So
Exactly.
like after the Saints beat us by like what was it, 24-0, they then lose to the Ravens 13-27, and then lose to the Steelers, the worst
Right.
offense in the NFL, 10-20.
Hey, I said the whole time, dude, go
Right.
look up the fucking stats. We were averaging 27. Everybody was talking about it all over the whole TV. I don't, dude, I'm going to say conspiracy. I'll just say it straight up. But why in the fuck? I said it. Why do you go in against the Saints and fucking get faced like that? You got fucking no space like that. How come motherfucking, what's that fucking halfback's name? Fucking,
Alvin Kamara?
Kareem, Kamara.
Oh
He
yeah.
angle routed us in the fucking center of the field 2 fucking times for touchdowns.
I
Like,
think
that's your fucking shit, dude. And you fucking leave the whole field open for that twice in a row.
I think they said that he hasn't scored a touchdown, I think, in 12 games consecutively, and he just scores 3 on us.
You can't just stop and tell people in the NFL, hey, man, we're just going to start over and build our team. You can't say that shit. You got to go out there and play. Like, that's how the game's supposed to be played.
Especially in
So
Vegas.
you can't just walk out there and tell a motherfucker, oh, well, we're just going to fucking straight flat rebuild. And we're going to start over from the beginning with our core players. I bet they didn't mean to fucking lose those games in the beginning. I bet they did go out and try. But once it got to a certain point, they're like, well, fuck this. We ain't going to win. Like, so what do you do now? I've said, I guarantee you, watch, I'll make a segment during the week on Wednesday, have Josh come in here. I'll show that these motherfuckers, how do you just be at will, just instantly turn it on? Boom. You just turn it on, go down, score fucking 2-3 scores in a row, 21 points, and then bam, all of a sudden, because the other team got to get above, you just quit scoring. Just nose flat, dude, instantly. I mean, shit, dude, we went in there and against the Colts, dude, we fucking went. Dude, once they got 10 and went to go to 14 or 13, whatever it was going to be, or 17, we just kicked it on. Fuck, got our points, and then boom, just fell off. Fucking let them get back, never even looked back. Left the whole entire back of the field wide the fuck open. Who the fuck does that? Why did you just call that play? Why'd you call that play? Like, I say that play was called because they needed them to score 100%.
Yeah. And there's no possible way that. How do
I can
you
show
lose to
janky
2
ass
guys
plays.
that's never called a play call before?
Dude, I can show janky ass plays for every single fucking game played this year where you're just like, why in the fuck you do that? And that ain't because of inexperienced play calling. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Josh ain't fucking dumb. I watched the fucking guy do it for years. He don't call fucking dumbass shit like that. You're calling plays like that to fucking tank games. 100% I watched this guy fucking do it this whole fucking time, dude. Like, I've said it. I've said from day one, dude, how do you get there? How do you fucking put up those points? And even you'll be losing in the first half. You come out in the second, you just start kicking ass till right before you're going to win that game, and then you just fall off every single time. Teams that suck, they suck, dude. Like, you just suck. Probably be like every game like that Saints game, dude. Maybe putting up a touchdown, a field goal, 10 points, you know, like you're not going out there just fucking rolling on teams at certain points in the game. Like they don't even matter. And then all of a sudden, bam, you just hit this fucking wall again. Just like, well, that's it. I've watched football my whole life, dude. I've never seen shit like this.
Here's my thing though. Why, if the plan was from Jump Street from week 1 to tank, would they have gone out and spent, like I said, almost $500 million on contracts?
Well, let me tell you something. Do you think you can get a guy on the contract the following year if you told him you were tanking? No, you sign them right now because they're forced under contract next year regardless. There's a reason behind it. I've already said it. You can't go out and tell a player you're going to tank. You can't get him to the team. But if you go out and give a guy a multi-year fucking contract and you tank out the first year, guess what? You still got 4 years with Devontae. You still got 3 years with fucking Carr. You still got all these years with these players. Like, You just sacrificed one of them, but you can't go out there and fucking tell them that shit and think dudes are gonna come and sign. The players are here, they're stuck, they ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm saying if Mark Davis went to Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler and said, okay, here's the deal, we're gonna tank, even though we were a playoff team last year. Why did they go out, or why did Mark Davis allow for Ziegler in particular to go out and get all these pieces who are in the primes of their career? Why did they give up two of their draft picks to start drafting in the third round? I mean,
Devontae is still young, so I mean, fucking 29 years old. I mean, you got him for 5, it's 34. So I mean, you're still pretty fucking good. And the only pick I would say like that was crazy was the fucking Chandler. But maybe they, like I said, I don't think their intentional goal. I don't think it was like that. I don't think that was the whole conversation was, hey, you're just going to come here and tank. I don't think that was, like I said, I think they went out and tried to win those games. They just knew that the team as a whole isn't there. So they got to a certain point and was like, dude, listen, how do you go out and compete against the Kansas City Chiefs, dude, at a high level at that point, shootout for shootout all the way through, put up 17 in the beginning, hold it out to the end, bullshit call gets called on, and then the following deal, you just start falling off instantly. Like, you just start falling off instantly because they probably knew, like, hey, we're competitive, but we're just not there yet. Like, you gave up a 17-point lead in that game. So I guarantee you they're like, dude, if we're going to try to take over this division with the way Kansas City's set up right now, we're going to need to build defensively because when we get up that 17 points, we got to make sure he don't come back. Like, there's no reason you get up on those points and then fucking every possession after that, Holmes just drives down the field. Every possession after that, all fucking plays he just completes, goes right down the field. But the first fucking quarter and partial into the second, you were shutting them down. It's either the guys got tired, he fucking started finding places where they were, something fell off massively. So at the same time, like I say, if that's what's happening, I mean, look, dude, you got to think Ziegler has been through every single step through the whole entire deal. And I've said, like, if somebody's going to rebuild and you're rebuilt, so like when Gruden came in and what did he have? Amari Cooper. He had Amari Cooper and frickin' Khalil Mack pretty much on the team outside of Derek Carr. He traded off both of our main picks. He traded off our fucking Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. They went and got the picks. They started building up our team. Now we have this core, right? Josh and them come in. They say that, hey, we have a core set of people, but we can build you a legit franchise. If we can fucking build up the defense here under rookie contracts because we already have X amount of money locked up under these people, then we'll do that. So what I think is once they got to that point, they were like, hey, we're at this point. We have good draft picks. We have a lot of them. We can rebuild through the draft and get good talent. So you're getting good ass talent. I've said in the early 2000s, the Patriots did the same fucking thing. They accumulated a high percentage of draft picks over those years. That's how they built their core. We already signed the main core players' offense. The offense is there. Like, that's not lacking. And it's even showed, like, Waller's expendable. Jacobs will be a whole different story because Sincere hasn't played in the NFL. So I think it'll come more down like on Britton right now, see how well he comes in. Cause I think Zeus is just he's a wall hitter. That motherfucker hits the wall every time, dude. Like, if Britton gets to come in here and fucking be able to show his skill, then you kind of lean on that with Sincere behind to get immaculated. But I believe, man, like, I strongly believe they're going to build up on the fucking defense. That's where we're weak at. You're going to get them under multi-year contracts, 4 or 5 years on good fucking talent. Like, Zingler and them can fucking pick players, dude. I mean, if you're telling me we pick Parham 3rd round, dude, and that's our best player, I'm good with that. Like, fuck, a 3rd round pick and that was your first and you got that player, like, I'm good with giving up our 1st and 2nd for Devontae. It really didn't matter. Obviously, the team sucked. So it wasn't worth fucking it mattered anyway. So I think if it's me as a fucking fan, if Josh and them can tear the fucking organization down, build the core with this and have a winning franchise where every single year we're at 10 and 12 fucking wins because it's his system with his shit, I'm all for it. I'm all 100% for it, dude. And if he gets to next year and he sucks, then we can start bashing the shit. But People forget, dude. Gruden came in here. He went 4-12. His first 9 fucking games, Gruden went 1-8. He went 1-8.
Hey,
And
Dustin.
Josh has a better fucking record than Gruden right now. He's 2-7.
Hey,
So we can't
Dustin.
just sit here and say, "Oh man, Gruden come in here. He started shittier, and he still built out a pretty good fucking team over the end." Do we
Hey,
want to
Dustin.
wait? Do we want to wait hella years to do it again? Fuck no. Nobody wants to do that, dude. But if that's what changes the tide, dude, I can't remember who said this on the last show, but we feel like we're so stuck in the old culture. We're stuck in this old fucking way, this old regime, dude. Like these fools come in and break us down and start a whole fucking winning. I would love it. I mean, fuck, if you're telling me I can be like Baltimore or New England or a team that fucking like the fucking Steelers or anybody that's like, hey, they're probably, or the fucking Chiefs, like, they're going to go to the playoffs fucking 9 out of 10 times. I'm for it. Fuck, 6 out of 10, I'm for it.
I
Hey,
mean,
do you see what's up in the chat, Jeff? I already
uh,
put him on timeout.
yeah, I saw that. Yes. Hey
Hey,
man, Rob
hey,
could have
Dustin,
no
we're
money.
getting famous now.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Whoa
Jeff,
there, buddy.
with the
Did you
with
see that?
the contracts, Jeff, I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's sketchy from the beginning because I've been looking at these contracts, even like the ones that don't mean anything, like for weeks now. And for the big contracts, the contract extensions with like Derek Hunter, Waller, Adams, Max, Carr is like the only one that they can just get rid of with no consequences this year. Meanwhile, you got
Right.
Waller and Renfro, who you can't get rid of until next season, 2024. And then you got Adams
Right.
and Crosby. You can't get rid of them until 2025. To me, it kind of shows to me who they trust more or who they want to keep more. Like I feel like because obviously Davis wants to keep Carr because he respects Carr, but with this new regime, I feel like that they want to keep Adams. They definitely want to keep Crosby. They want to see what they can get out of Waller and Renfro. Like they want to see if they're legit because they're like, you guys were good, but you're only good for like 1 year. How good can you guys be? And then you got Carr where they're like, we're just going to pay you 20 million this year and we'll probably just get rid of you with no consequences. So that's why I think that's why I like Ziegler a little bit, even though sometimes the contracts could be sketchy a little bit, especially with Derek's, how he's not guaranteed any type of money. Because if you get rid of him or if you keep him, that cap money is probably going to be the worst cap in the league. How like I think next year it's going to be like 40 million. That's way too much in cap, and you can't even restructure that because then you're stuck just paying Carr for the next 5 to 6 years, and he's not even probably playing by then.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what I think with these contracts so far.
yeah, I mean the most realistic scenario is that Carr's going to be traded. I mean, obviously McDaniels is using Carr as the scapegoat. Like he's trying to sell everyone on this idea that like the reason we suck is because Carr sucks or he's not getting my offense or whatever. So, they're going to trade him, I think, and that's why. I mean, when you look at the position right now, they're number 2 right now. They're in line to get the second overall pick, which means either Young or Stroud. I suppose it's somewhat possible that the Texans don't go for a quarterback. It's possible that they build around Davis Mills. I doubt it. But he's proven to be not the worst quarterback of all time. So, there's some potential there maybe. But it's even still, even if the Texans make a quarterback move in the draft with the first overall pick, um, you know, one of Young or Stroud's going to be there. So, yeah, I mean, I think the contract, it was put in there in place for a reason. Um, at the same time, like I said, like if you just look at it, the fact that we're not 5-4 right now, at the very least, if not like at the absolute least 4-5, is pretty ridiculous because, like you said, like the only shady contract is Cars. So like, you know, they've committed to all these pieces in a win now scenario, and it's just that's why, like as I said, I've often made the comparison between this team and the Bears. Like with the Bears, like disagree with it if you want, but Ryan Poles came in and said he's traded away like two of their big pieces in Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. Even though I think Roquan is in the contract year, he requested a trade. I'm sure it's it's very painful for Bears fans to see that happen. But at the same time, like there's nothing to indicate that the Bears are in a win now situation. I mean, one of their biggest weapons in David Montgomery is in a contract year. They have younger guys that, if you ask me, in certain respects, they seem to maybe like more in like Khalil Herbert at running back. I mean, outside of like Fields, even they traded for Claypool, but I don't think Claypool's even making he's making maybe a million if that. So like to me, that's like something where it's like at least as a fan you can get behind the tank because it's like they've been honest about it. Whereas with this team, like you have a new stadium, it's in a huge market, it's in a what was supposed to be a good division. That's pretty much and not just the Raiders, the Broncos and Chargers have underperformed as well. Um, but like you know, it was supposed to be like big this year. Like this was supposed to be not maybe not the year, but at least like a playoff or an over 500 a contending year.
Justin
And
So
for
Fields
me,
was
it's
the
like
last.
they had to lie because Vegas to me, like I treat Vegas very differently than like when we were in Oakland because Vegas is like a separate entity. Like you can't just tell Vegas, hey, we're just gonna suck this year and just lose because that's like the one thing you shouldn't tell Vegas of all places, and instead try to say, oh, we suck for some reason. Um, don't
yeah, I mean,
take
I
take
get
it the
that. Like,
wrong
yeah, no,
take.
I I think Stephen A said the same thing. Like but Stephen A's point was that like with this team right now, you should be trying to win now. You can't like just because inevitably like it's the same thing. Like so, either you're going to be honest about a tank and you're going to say you're going to make it obvious to all of your fans and the NFL world at large that you're trying to lose on purpose for the sake of your draft stock.
Dude, he made that clear when he said what he said here the other day. You don't listen. You don't go out in the public and tell the public that I'm content with where they're at right now if that wasn't an idea to begin with. You would go out and be like, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. We were a playoff team. We should have been pushing through here. He didn't say none of that shit. He said, Rome ain't built in a fucking day. What does that imply? What's that fucking
What
imply?
sucks is that I told Dustin that is that that's probably what they're thinking, and then I just see Stephen A. Smith say that's the dumbest thing you could ever say, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
Stephen, I know I'm not dumb because Rome was definitely not built in a day. Sometimes you gotta go through crappy shenanigans to get through winning.
but like my thing though is that like even if okay, so they were 10-7 last year, playoff team. Even if Ziegler and McDaniels, upon being hired, they look at this team and are like, we don't like it. We don't like what we see here. And like they don't go out and get the pieces that they do, or they don't even re-sign Max or they don't extend Max. Like at least like you can get behind it from like an intellectual standpoint, be like, okay, like we know it's going, even though nobody's coming out and saying, yes, we're tanking. Like Ryan Poles in Chicago didn't, get in front of the podium and say, we're losing on purpose, we're sucking on purpose. But by their actions, by the actions of the franchise, that's what they're doing. And like, so I'm just saying that like you might as well be honest about the tank in terms of your actions, not in terms of your words. Because like I said, there's like an incongruence between what they did in the offseason and how they're performing and what's going on now. I mean, now I will agree that at this point, and even before the Colts game, when because after losing to the Jaguars, the season was 99% over. The loss to the Colts just put them over the top for sure. But I will agree that now it's a tank, but it's an adaptive tank. It's a tank that they've had to get used to because they swung and missed on the season. Like the season, NFL stands for not for long. It comes at you fast. Like you start in September, you think everything's going to be great, and all of a sudden it's Thanksgiving and you're done, or you're not, or you're contending. So life comes at you fast. And now we certainly do have to think in terms of a tank. I mean, I hate to say it, but like now that we're in this frame of mind, like, what is the point of beating the Broncos? Like, it'd be nice to keep the streak alive, but like,
To
You,
sweep their
you
ass and
gotta,
tell them
you
to
gotta
fuck
keep,
off, and if
you,
we win or lose, it don't matter.
you gotta keep
but
that
then
streak alive. I'd be
the
fine if we lose
Broncos,
every other game but that game.
the Broncos jump ahead of us in the draft order.
No,
So then
don't
we
they
might
have
not
Nah,
4 wins?
just lose
Don't
every
they
other
have
game
4
after that.
wins?
three,
No, they have
Three.
They got 3.
and we have the
Yeah.
tiebreaker on them if we beat them. So if we, uh, I think if we, yeah. So certainly if we lose,
It'll be Seattle's pick. They don't got that
You're
pick.
right. Oh,
Yeah,
you're
you're
right.
right.
That is Seattle's pick. So
100%.
Seattle will get.
Yeah,
You're
but you
right.
don't want that either because Seattle's defense, bro. They fuck gonna go defense.
okay. But what about like Detroit and Chicago? Like they only have 3 wins. Aren't they gonna?
I think
have
they
those
move
picks?
up.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I think
Nah,
Chicago and Detroit are on the
Detroit
way
though,
up.
they're that team that like Jeff's talking about. It's like you know you're bad, but you want to win. Like the Lions want to win. They don't care where they're at.
And they have the pieces. Only thing wrong with them is quarterback.
Yeah, they'll definitely draft a quarterback.
Because St. Brown is a dog.
Their whole offense is a dog. Literally,
Is nice.
their coach, he's a good offensive coach. It's just
Right.
the execution with some of the players.
Right. Like you got Jameson Williams, you got DeAndre Swift, you got Akuda. They got the pieces.
Like
It's just
so,
Who's
Dan
their
executing.
tight
Campbell,
end now?
and you want,
Coaching.
and I don't like how McDaniels calls his trick plays, especially how it's executed. Dan
Oh, his
Campbell,
trick plays are
he's
awful.
probably
It may be just stripped or maybe just scripted that way that he wants.
Some of them are cool. Some of them are cool. I'll give you that.
Sometimes
But
Dan Campbell, it will be like as bad as our trick plays, but then sometimes it's like even the cameraman doesn't know where the ball went.
And do you guys remember that play last week when Carr held it for like, or the week before? I forget when he held it for like a couple of seconds and then he threw it.
Nah, that Colts and Jaguars game is where I just started yelling at my screen.
When Devontae scored that touchdown, he held it for like a couple of seconds
Nah,
and then he
because
threw it.
that's what he's doing now. I don't know why he's holding the ball for so long. If you know he's open, just throw
But
it.
it got Devontae
no,
a
here we go,
touchdown,
here we
though.
go. Right. Okay.
You're talking about against the Colts when he fucking went out in the middle of the field and crossed over.
Yeah,
Carr
and
threw it because the corner fell. The corner fell. Devontae got it, juke dude, and busted both of the guys into the end zone.
yeah.
And then the end to that when he threw it to Adams and they didn't win the game, and
Well,
Foster is just wide open, right next to Adams, wide open. I just got so mad.
I don't know. I still think it's tanking that they're tanking.
Yeah, no, it has to be. Like at this point, like what is the point of going like
because
6
we're
and 11?
scoring all these points.
Nah, even if you somehow win every other game, I don't even think you would make it to the playoffs because how many AFC games you lost already?
Right.
You can't win every other game. If you're even going to be in any type of consideration of talk, you'd have to win every game out.
Nah, and that won't even work because I think we already lost like. Let me think, like one.
We're
two,
only 7
3,
losses right now. You can if you don't lose out.
I think we already lost like 5 AFC games.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
you have.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Yeah, but the only way that would ever even matter is if the other teams were 10-7, the same as you.
Yeah, tied.
That'd be the only way that would even be a conversation.
You would need like the perfect tiebreaker.
That's we got a 1% odd.
You would need like the Jags beating Colts type of tiebreaker.
I mean, let's be honest. The Jags
which
and
is
Colts
what
are
happened
probably
last
not
year.
making the playoffs. We're not going to make it either. And
Dude, if we went 1% and win on
like that, yeah. If you want to go down the ultimate delusional round where you think we still have a shot at postseason, there is a shot there. There is a line. You know, the Patriots hold the 7th seed, and we play them in Week 14 in Vegas.
Bill Belichick is going to show.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is going to like make McDaniels look like a freaking idiot.
Yeah, that game is completely it's a swing and a miss for the NFL. Like they were marketing it as like a really cool like.
No, and Belichick does this to every former assistant he had. He makes them look like an idiot.
I mean, apart from that,
they are. That's what he hired him for in the beginning. But I'm just saying, what is honestly the point of being the Broncos because okay, I'm looking at the draft order now. The Broncos might not have a first round pick, but the Panthers do. They're 3-7. The Jaguars do. They're 3-7. The Bears do. They're 3-7. Like you're jeopardizing your draft order by winning.
Well, here's
And I
the
hate to
thing.
say it, but
Just lose every game after the Broncos game.
Yeah, every game after the
I will be
Broncos.
fine if we lose every game as long as we beat the
But
Broncos.
the other game too that we have to win is the Niner game.
No, we ain't winning that game even if we tried. You think you're going to stop Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel?
Fuck no, we don't even got a defense that you. They'll
Heck,
get
if Jimmy
lost
G
all
can't
over
score
that
one
motherfucker.
touchdown, that's how I know we're going to lose.
If we score a point on that defense, I will be shocked.
If we get to not even the 50-yard line, if we somehow get past the 25, God. If we get past the 25. Whoa, put up what Mr. Took Your Soul put. What do you mean by that?
Broncos don't have first round pick. They don't.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, he's talking about for the he's talking about for the rush grade.
No, he's talking about the Niners. I don't know what he meant.
Yeah,
by
bro.
That.
Like because
no, Niners don't have a first round pick.
No, they don't. It goes to them or to Seattle.
But that was part of the Russell Wilson debacle.
Trade.
What did they? I'm gonna
check.
Dude,
they traded multiple first round picks, dude. They gave these fools like freaking 5 picks, bro.
And 2
and
3
like
players.
5, if I remember
Noah
right.
Fant.
It was like 2 or 3 first round picks, 3
Shelby.
and a 5 or a 5 and a 7, and Noah Fant.
Shelby too.
And Shelby.
Yeah, so they drafted a 4th, first, a 2nd, a 5th, and then this year's 1st and a 2nd, a Noah Fant and Shelby Harris and Drew Lock. So yeah, they traded their future.
Yeah, because they're dumb.
I mean, Drew Lock is in their future.
No, like I meant by like draft cap. When you think about it, I think it's kind of funny though because as much as we hate our situation, we are technically in a better situation than the Broncos because at least we have future. They got no future after trading for Russell Wilson.
No, look.
I mean, these guys do it right, dude. They can have some of the best draft capital right at the front of the deal. These guys ain't fucking Mike Mayock and fucking John Gruden. This guy got real fucking knowledge of drafting and building shit, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody want to say. That fool been through Zangler's been through every step of the organization of any other person. He knows the whole fucking process. So if he ain't gonna do it, he ain't gonna do it. That's just facts. But he's put in the right the primest spot you could ask to be, right at the very top of the draft order every single round. You have 12 to 15 draft picks. You have 2 players that you can still push off and get even another first, if not 2 firsts, depending on where it goes. Like, this guy's in the perfect prime spot. And you're not just going to get 1 pick for Jacobs. You're going to get probably 2 or 3 picks. So they're right where they want to be. You take all these draft picks, you go to camp, you go see out, you weed them out, take the best, give them contracts, go on. Like, you got a higher percentage when you're drafting 4 edge rushers, dude, from the 1st round to the 5th round. Max was found in the 4th. Just because the guy comes in the 1st, it doesn't mean he's going to be the best. Like, that's the thing that they're in perfect example to be able to do right now.
It's what makes me so excited for this draft is because I know Ziegler can be so good in the late rounds, but I'm so excited for what he can do in like the first couple of rounds.
Hey, I'm gonna dip out, Jeff. Let me back in. I'm gonna get on my phone.
All right, man.
My tablet's out. My laptop.
But that's all I'm saying is that they're put in the most prime fucking spot, man. That's what matters, being in the prime spot if you're going to do the rebuild. You don't rebuild, 17th in the draft. Like, you're going to be hitting on a lot of players way later in. Right here, they're getting the prime pick. And you know the way they are, they're going to fucking trade off. They'll even trade off more picks to even get back in.
What's good?
You talking about the Broncos?
No, I'm saying the Raiders. Like, if they have so many picks, dude, they have so many picks and so well in the draft, They'll say that they want a player that's going out of the 5th round or 4th or 3rd. They can package picks to get them right back in there and not even hinder us. Not even hinder us.
Package who?
Say again?
Package who? Pitts?
No, just picks.
Oh,
Picks.
picks. Okay.
Like draft picks.
Okay.
Because, like I say, every time you go into the 3rd or 4th round, we're the 2nd pick in there, 2nd or 3rd pick. Your value in that draft, in that round, is high value. So that's what I'm saying is you can use that better than you can use something that is 16, 17, so on. You're not going to get as much. You got to put way more in there. And I just think Zangler, dude, he's not dumb. The guy. That's why I'm saying I think we get a lot of this confused that we're like, oh, Josh, because everybody's used to Gruden. Like everybody is used to Gruden because Gruden ran everything. Like fucking Zangler runs the Raiders. He's the one that runs the Raiders. It's not Josh, dude. Josh is his buddy. Josh come from the team. He's the fucking head coach. Zangler is the motherfucking guy that runs that shit. Zangler's the one that decides what players are going to be there. He's the one that decides if he's going to go get them. He's the one that makes the trades. Zangler's the dude. So if we're going to believe in something and say that they're going to fucking rebuild the organization, you have to believe in Zangler. Nobody else, or Zingler, however you say his name. You can't believe in nobody else. You got to believe in him. It's going to be his scouts, his drafting method, his way of going about how they're picking players. And I probably bet that he's not dumb. He's a very high draft person himself, as in a scout. And I guarantee he's like, dude, this year's draft is hella high in the defense, dude, and hella high in the edge rushers. Dude, you're going to get a good edge rusher all the way to 50, 55. So you know damn well if you can take that and fucking cancel out Chandler's contract next year after it's done, and you got a guy right behind him that can produce at the same level, move Chandler to the fucking back, and Chandler will probably restructure the contract because he's probably that guy. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying is they have the chance that they can put in players right now that could actually build it. Go after a true linebacker, a real true linebacker that has coverage, that has freaking run skill, a true linebacker. Like Gruden them, nobody in them ever did that shit. Like they never did that shit. These guys will. Go get another cornerback, dude. Fucking, and then bring back Sam and fucking Amit, dude. Like you're gonna have Nate Hobbs. You're gonna have Nate Hobbs. You'll have Rakia. You'll have Webb. You'll have a draft pick, dude, and fucking Amit. Like he did pretty well, and he got dogging him. You go get a fucking safety, dude, to play out under Harmon for the next 2 years, and then fucking play that. Like you got a lot of good picks here. That's why I say don't make sense to go offense. You go offense, well, you fucking got to redo everything. Like you're gonna have to redo everything. Mobile fucking dude, you're gonna have to change shit up, players up. Your defense still fucking sucks, dude. Like it makes more sense to keep Carr under the contract that he's at. Fucking draft a quarterback later in the round. Fucking let him sit underneath there just like they've done the whole fucking time of their career of Josh or Patriots or anybody. Held on to fucking later picks and let them develop like that, and then see where they're at. If Derek's fucking declining and don't know, you fucking ship him. If not, you can ship the fucking dude. You can ship the dude that's fucking that you drafted because Derek is playing at a hella high level. Just like they did with Jimmy Castle, fucking what's that dude? Brissett. Like fuck, dude. Like these guys ain't dumb. The first thing fucking Zangler did was accumulate draft fucking capital. The second he got here.
Heck, the Patriots still did it. Like they drafted Bailey Sapp, and he's playing better than Mac Jones right now.
True.
Zappy hour.
That's a good one.
Never
Zappy
heard that
hour.
one?
No. I've heard you've been zapped.
You've been zapped.
You guys ever watch Futurama?
Yeah.
I call him Zap Brannigan.
Ah.
Remember that guy? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just the problem I think though is that like Davis has hired a regime, and unlike Ziegler or McDaniels or Patrick Graham, he's not part of that regime. So it's ultimately his call. Like nobody's above Mark Davis. So if this isn't working out, after? I mean, like maybe next year? Because how long do we give these guys? That's the biggest question.
4
Because
years.
obviously, do you give them all 4 years?
I believe you give them 3 because if you're gonna do true rebuild, listen, I don't know how to say I don't know how to say it anymore. Is that you if you're gonna I run a company and everything. If a guy does work on a video and I watch the video, it doesn't mean that he's going to fit what we do. Does he have a good work ethic? Does he do the job what he's doing good? Yes, but I still need to talk to that dude. I still need to see that guy. I still need to see how he works in this environment. I believe Josh and them, Zangler and them come. You get the familiarity with working with these people, see who has heart, who don't have heart, who ain't working, who is. You can cut those type of players in the offseason, then bam, you install your system, your players. So I say to come in and evaluate fucking is year one, to evaluate the talent of the player, to see where they're at, who acculates to your system well. Then year 2 is to put your system, which right here is the perfect idea. I've said it 100 times, 12, 15 picks. You're going to have free agency to put out the veterans that solidify the whole entire pack. And then year 3, after year 2 of being acculated to that system, year 3, they should fucking take the fuck off. They should know that shit. They should be moving. If they ain't got it in year 3, I'd cut the motherfuckers straight up and out, dude. That's where I would, if it was me, because nobody's going to come in here and rebuild shit overnight. And I believe if you're going to do true rebuild to where you should be at, I think year 3 would be the tallest tale of everything. Because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's easy for a guy to watch a TV or look at something and analyze. You don't know that guy. You don't know how he works in that lobby. You don't know if you got a guy that can get along with that dude. Sometimes you can neutralize drama because there's a fucking guy, a fucking coach, a player that player likes. So he'll fucking calm down for him. But if that player ain't there, guess what? He ruins everything. Like, there's a lot of shit inside those rooms. It's easy for people to talk about if they ain't never been there. When you're fucking there, it's a fucking whole different world. It's a whole nother world. People can talk from the outside, but it's a lot different when you experience it, see it. You know how, and not 53 people, dude, they ain't all the same. They're not all the same. Some have high egos. Some are fucking think they're better than God, fucking suck. Like, it's a whole different world in there, man. And that's all I just say. Like, if it's me, I think Josh can come in this year. He sees what players work. That's why I don't think Carr goes. It's stupid. Why would you get rid of a quarterback that can put up yards, that can go down field, can win fucking games, and at $35.32 million for the next 3 fucking years, and you're going to go cut him for a guy that don't know the system, don't know the players, has to reacculate the whole entire fucking deal, whole system, see how these guys play, how they go downfield. So year 1 pretty much fucking done, period. So what's the difference? You have a guy here that already knows it, knows the players, knows how to win. Fix the defense. I listen. You fix the defense, I'm willing to bet. I'll bet 10,000 cash that you fix that defense, we're gonna win hell a lot more games. Like straight the fuck up.
Can't
straight
fix the
up.
defense though if the offense is too expensive.
That's why you got the rookie contracts underneath the defense with 12 picks. You got 5 years.
That's why you
4
get
or
rid of
5
the
years.
guy that's got the most capital.
But not
Because Carr's cap hit next year is $40 million. That's way too much for a QB.
No, hell no. That's what average quarterbacks go for right now. Is about
If
$40
you're
million.
like a top 10 QB,
and his contract averages out to $35.32 million because he was paid on $19 million this year. So he was paid on $19 million, and his contract averages out to be $35.32 million his duration. So $35 million is plenty good enough to pay for a quarterback. And just like I say, that's how I would do it if I'm doing it, and I don't own the team, so I'm just speaking from my personal opinion. I don't own the fucking team, and I would think if you go quarterback, you're done. I'm just saying right now, I don't care what anybody says. There's no fucking way in hell that Devontae Adams and Derek Carr know each other as well as they do. Think that some fucking dude named CJ Stroud or Bryce Young or fucking dude over there fucking is going to even come up in this motherfucker and do better than them two. Like, I just don't buy that. So you're just going to have to automatically go into your freaking you're going to have to go right into rebuild the whole thing for them. And it wouldn't make sense. I think makes sense. Build defense. If the defense, I mean, I don't even. I'm tired of talking about it. If the defense fucking stops the fucking deal, we don't lose these games. So I don't give a fuck. Good defenses don't lose fucking games like that. Like they say, defenses win championships. I can go back for I'm fucking 38 years old. I can go back through 2 decades of fucking teams that dominated on the defensive side, like fucking on teams. The Raiders, even in the 80s, dude, was on the same side, offense and defense. We expect one fucking dude. Like I said, it's unrealistic to expect a guy to go out and put up 40 fucking points a game. That's just unrealistic as fuck, dude. Like, that's not going to happen.
I just like I mean, I will agree. You know, I mean, look, the defense, they've gone through injuries. Obviously, losing Nate Hobbs has been a huge loss, but at the same time, they haven't given Sam Webb enough of a look until recently, until pretty much last week. So that, I mean, to an extent, there's a personnel issue. To an extent, there's an injury issue, but there's also just a personnel management issue. Like they haven't been using these guys in the proper way. Um, but like, it's just I don't know. It's just any way you cut it, like this team is just not getting it done. They don't have like there's more than just like the X's and O's of it. There's like the mentality of the team. There's how much they're willing to lay it all on the line, so to speak, for their coach. Um, there's the proneness to mistakes. It's not looking good to me. Like the indicators, like I get it obviously because now we're in the tank mode, whether anyone likes it or not. Like or at least that's where it should be. I mean, if like I said, there's no point in going like 6-11, 5-12 at this point. It's just
Dude, you see videos of like Devontae Adams with fucking Zangler and Josh just laughing and talking the whole time. You see videos with Derek Carr doing the same shit after this all went down. Like fucking the demeanor of them to the coaches, and just like every single player has made it clear as day that they have no issue with the way Josh's scheme or the coaches. They just say amongst players. Like there's a lot of fucking people say that people are pointing fingers at each other inside the fucking locker rooms. And it's just like I say, like, just like Derek even said in the presser, there's a lot of places in the fucking locker rooms that there are coaches or things that are there to govern things that are said or done. So me personally, like I say, I think they're just going to fucking chili walk a lot of these fucking people to begin with, period. And like I said, you got 25 people, I think, 24, 25 players that are on 1-year contracts. So they're gone automatically.
Facts.
The only thing is like Chandler, like the Chandler deal, like I'd try hella hard to trade that fucker. I'd eat his cap too. Like I won't even lie, because the thing people don't recognize is every year until we hit 250 million, our salary cap's gonna grow by 18 to 20 million per year. So for the next few years till we reach 250 million, our cap will grow 18 and 20 million per year. So you can eat a fucking guy's cap like that, dude. But I want to eat 25 million. But I don't think they'd be too afraid, dude. They were willing to fucking cut fucking Alex Leatherwood and eat that bitch, but they already knew someone's going to pick it up. But my point is I would try to trade that fucking guy out of here.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those dilemmas where I mean, yeah, you'd want a guy off your team because he's not performing well, but that doesn't mean that other teams are going to want to take him for that same reason. He's not performing well. I mean, you've signed to this big deal, so in certain ways that could be less attractive for other GMs because they don't want to
And
take
then
that on.
if we got stuck with that, I'd just say fuck you, move to the backup and go draft the player. At that point, you're eating it regardless.
Well, look, yeah, I mean that is what Brian Dable has done with Kenny Galladay, who I mean, it like it or not, this is a guy that the franchise spent a lot of money on, and it was from an old regime. It was the Gettleman regime. It was like a desperate Hail Mary, no pun intended, to not get fired. or to save their job, and it hasn't worked at all. Kenny Galladay is not earning his money whatsoever, and Dable's benching him. And at
Heck,
the end of the day,
they traded Kadarius Tony.
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, Tony was just, he was on a rookie contract. That was just, whatever you can get for him. Um, he seems to be liking the Chiefs a lot more. I mean, last week he had a
He
really,
got fucking Patrick Mahomes, bro. I mean, of course he's gonna like that fucker too a lot more. I mean that dude.
He's a
And then
speedster.
Nico Hartman, I just got hurt, I think, so he's on
yeah.
IR.
I mean,
And
yeah,
that
he's a speedster. Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball deep.
fuck yeah,
Daniel Jones can't throw the ball that deep.
dude, I would have taken Tony in a fucking heartbeat, dude. I would have taken that fool in a heartbeat,
I
dude. Put him on
advocated
the team.
him during the offseason when I heard the Giants wanted to trade him. I'm like, we should get this guy. He's a
Hell yeah.
speedster. He's young. He's on a rookie contract. And we didn't
I
get
mean,
him.
it's just one game. I will say though, and this is what Andy Reid has that Josh McDaniels pretty clearly doesn't, is that he can make pretty much anybody better. He can go down to the mall and he could find guys and he could figure out how to integrate them into the offense. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's still one game. Um, I'm still not totally sold on Tony yet. I mean, I get there was a lot of hype going into college, but I'm just saying, like, as far as guys that you spend a lot of money on, that the expectation, the floor is supposed to be high for this guy. In other words, like, in the very least, he's supposed to be at least doing decently. He's supposed to help your football team. Um, it takes a lot of balls to bench a guy like that who's that much of a financial burden on the team simply for the reasons of the sport. And that takes a lot of guts, but it needs to happen. It needs to get done. I mean, Chandler. I mean, he's getting a lot of tackles. He's helping in the run stop, but like that's not really what we paid him for. Like I hate to say it, like sacks mean a lot more. And what does he have? A half of a sack on the year?
Dude,
And
I've said put
Cleveland
Malcolm
Farrell's got
Kuntz
that
in
other
there.
half.
I've said put Malcolm Kuntz in that motherfucker. Let him play. He falters. Let Chandler come
Yeah.
in because that's how it should be.
And why don't you put
Malcolm he's gonna tackle he's gonna get sacks, dude. Like there ain't a fucking doubt about it, dude.
and then why don't you put your rookie Neil Farrell or Cleveland Farrell in there as a DT, because obviously they've been really good to stop the run or get in there to get after the QB. Yet you want to put in Kyle Pecco or Vickers or Billings, and I'm like, I'm watching these rookies, and they've been playing a lot better than the guys that we're paying for right now.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
that's going to be more to weed them out and come to the off season because if Kyle Pecco plays out the way he is, he's actually better than Billings and them. So if you're building off of your front like that, you're saying Butler, Farrell, and Pecco like that would be pretty good. So I can see why they're doing it. I mean, like I said, I think it's more like Bly Nichols should be balling out, dude. Like he should be balling out, and he's not. And you go out there and you get these players 1-2 years, dude, to be able to see if they acculate to what you're doing. So I don't know. I mean, Bly should be doing just fine. I mean, I think it's crazy that when you look over there at the NFL or look at the free agency, that frickin' Harmon was the best one out of them all. Like he was literally the best one out of them all like that.
I'm just wondering if they want to shelter their rookies this year, besides Parham, if they just want to shelter them.
I think so because Pecco was graded at an 83.1. He was the fourth best rated player on the team this week. It was Devontae Adams at a 90. Then you had fucking Jacob Johnson. Then you had Colton Miller, and then you had fucking Kyle Pecco.
Because this draft class, you see Parham obviously, but then you see Zamir White like 1 to 3 snaps a game. You see Nero Farrell sometimes. I still have not seen Matthew Butler. You see Thayer Munford once or twice a game. And then now we're finally seeing Seb Webb more. We're finally seeing Luke Masterson more and Darian Butler.
Right.
I'm just wondering if this is going to be like the trend when they have rookies. Are they just going to shelter their rookies?
Yeah, no, I mean, certainly at this point in the season, it kind of reminded me of like, when I played high school football, it was like there were like some seniors who hadn't really gotten a lot of playing time, and the parents were begging the coaches just put them in just so they can get the varsity reps, get the letter. I think they should have the same mentality. The Raiders coaching staff should have the same mentality that right now, because the season is over. I mean, you might as well figure out what you have, and if we're going to embrace this tank, might as well try to figure out what organic guys or what guys are that are on cheap contracts, you'd be willing to move forward with. And in a certain way, it's freeing. At least there's no more pressure to perform, at least in the general sense. Especially if it is true that Mark Davis is not going to fire McDaniels or make any adjustments to this regime at all. And just throw these guys in there. And especially as it pertains to Chandler. I mean, take some of his reps, man. Just like in the very least, put some pressure on him and be like, oh, maybe I do need to turn my game up a notch, because I mean, this guy's a con man as far as I'm concerned. I mean, a half sack
Dude, I think they're going to swap up a lot right now, because I think we'll see a lot more Luke Masterson because he has really good coverage skills. So and not only that, dude, like he got hurt in that one play. I thought that fool was going to go out. He came right back. He played decently good. Butler, he played pretty good outside of the falling on the fucking fumble,
Yeah,
and you got to
I'll
think
let him. I'll let him slide on that mistake.
yeah,
Rookie mistake.
like you start looking at these core players right here. If they would just get the fuck off of Chandler and let fucking Malcolm Kuntz play over there, then we'd be fucking rolling where I think we need to be. Bring in Butler, bring in Farrell. I mean, just give them a good fucking game together.
I said,
Good game together in that defensive core. You have nothing to lose. You're fucking done. You're done. I mean, I'm not trying. Listen, I don't care if we can go win every fucking game to the end. It means more right now to just get the fucking picks and build the defense, in my personal opinion. Like, you go fucking win all that, you're getting stuck with shitty ass picks again. No fucking money. You can't fucking get people out of the draft. You're forced to fucking cut your players. Where right now, if you're fucking smart and educated, which I know goddamn well Zingler is, he's going to fucking have the draft capital to fix on one side of the fucking ball, carry the offense, because that's what fucking matters. That is what's more important is that the offense can put up the fucking points and be on the veteran side. The defense just got to get a few more stops per game. Look at it. All the defense got to do is get one more stop per game. One more fucking stop per game and not let them score. We fucking win those games. So that's all they got to do. It ain't like you're going into multiple games where it's like fucking, oh man, they beat them by fucking 20, beat them by 21. Dude, like I said, in the first 5 games, we were only down by 2 scores, 15 points. 5 games played, the total average of the points was 15. So if you're just saying that you can get one less stop, that's just 2 less stops, you win fucking 5 more wins. So if that's what you're trying to do in the team is build it on there, because that you can afford to make a little bit of mistakes on the defensive side. As long as the offense putting up the points, you're okay. But they just got to still get those stops and be more consistent. You can't be ranked shitty fucking and look, nine stats, 2 of them you're good in, but fucking 7 you're shitty in, and you're ranked 27 in a total all around defense. Like, what fucking more does that need to be said? Like, what more does that need to be said? Like, you go and fucking draft a fucking right guard, right tackle, however you want to do it. Get fucking both. Who gives a shit? You got your team. Boom. There you go. These guys obviously know how to draft the fucking linemen, so they obviously know what they're doing when it comes to that. I just think when you're making the team, it's smarter to keep the players and draft off the defense. 100%.
All right, guys, I'm about to go.
See you, Cortez.
All right, bro.
See you, bro. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Dustin. All right,
Take care.
Huh?
Yeah, and that's facts. You go look at it. Go look at where the defense been ranked in fucking interceptions, fucking sacks, fucking what Max got pressures, dude, but we don't have the sacks to back him up, dude. Like that type of shit don't exist for the Raiders. It's like fucking you don't have the Charles Woodsons of there no more. You got to go get people that can start fucking shutting down in those sections. Why aren't you drafting and getting good talent? Like fucking what's his name? Oh, fucking the dude with the cast. Like Arnett. Fucking Arnett and shit. Like then you go look at fucking DJ Hayden and them. Like we get shitty picks like that. These guys over here fucking go get decently drafted players, dude, and turn out to be pretty fucking good players in the system that they build. I don't know. Like I said, I think there's a lot, but I'm 100%. If that's what they're doing, and they made it clear as day. I mean, I can read fucking text. I don't gotta fucking need to wrote out. It said straight up, dude. I'm content with where these people are at. Rome wasn't built in a day. Fuck, don't take a fucking genius to figure that part out. So if you're saying that you're gonna do that, I just hope that they rebuild the defense and fucking give the few little pieces out of those, 12 to 15 picks to the offense that just surefy it. But fucking just load up on that whole defense. Then you're gonna have 36 million to mess around to get some key veteran players. You can sign 2, 3, 4 out of there, depending on what you're trying to pay them, 10 million, 15 million. Then you solidify key holes inside there. So say you got all these rookies over in the defense, you can go and pick up 2, 3 veteran players to add to your veteran team already and just give confidence. Like I say, I have 100% faith in Carr and the offense when it comes to it. I've said the stats don't fucking lie. If they can just keep carrying that momentum, have the fucking defensive stops, dude, I mean, we can go over here and call back fucking easily 3, 4 games out of here that if they just didn't give up all those points, we would have won. So outside of it is he said, she said, because we lost. But the facts is that if our defense just fucking held one time per game more, we win out those games. Don't give up that game in the Colts. We win that one. Going Jacksonville, fuck, would they beat us by 10? So I don't know. Frickin' the Chiefs game, fucking by 1 point. We could have won that fucking game. The penalty don't happen. We do win that game. So, I mean, there's a lot of games in there. The Cardinals, I mean, fuck, the Chargers, I'd say they probably beat us because we had the chance. So I don't think that was, I think that was legit played out game. But I mean, I can go back and call numerous fucking games where our record would be even or if not better. So I don't know.
So in like a mindset now where like we know that like season's over and anything, so now we're just looking forward to the future. What are you guys looking forward to in the Denver game this weekend?
Like, what am I looking forward for? Go, Jeff.
Like on a positive note.
Good question. I mean, like I said, like globally speaking, like I will give you that. Like if we lose every other game besides this one just to keep the streak alive, which is funny. That's funny to clown Broncos fans. Then I would be amenable to wanting to see them win. But like I said, like in general, the mindset is to lose. So like I said, I probably what I'd look for more than anything is just see these young guys get some reps and get some snaps, get some playing time just to see what they're made of, see who we're willing to move forward with, who we're not. Because a lot of these guys have a chip on their shoulder. They're trying to play themselves into bigger contracts. So they're, a lot of guys like Luke Masterson, maybe even like Malcolm Kuntz, you could argue too.
Apparently, Sam Webb said he feels like he has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly right. It's another great example, Sam Webb.
And he gets to play another week.
Mm-hmm. And that's the mindset. Just if he played well last week, let him play again.
Right. Yeah. No. Just see. I mean, the upside is everything, right? Especially when you're a rookie. It's all about seeing what the potential of any player is. So just focus on what they're doing right. Try to fix what they're doing wrong, and then if it doesn't pan out, I mean, obviously that's the NFL at large. That's what happens all the time. But I mean, yeah, I would just say I would like to see some I would like to see some shuffling of the deck as far as the roster and usage of players is concerned.
What I would like to see is if Hobbs does come back by the end of this year, I'd like to see Rakia and fucking Webb on the outside and Hobbs on the inside fucking covering Kelsey against the Chiefs. Because I believe fucking Webb can fucking be that guy. And that's for sure. So I mean, and you think about that. If you can show that you can be that player in that type of game, that means you don't have to go and take a corner early on in the draft. I feel like they're going to go get a corner because look at all the people we've went through. Look at all the guys that we were looking at. We were looking supposedly at fucking JC, fucking Gilmore, every damn guy apparently. So I feel like if you're trying to get a solidified other player there, so you have 2 or 3 of them, that you would. But if Sam Webb is that dude right now, you can just move on and get a different pick of need, which would be probably linebacker, D tackle, edge rusher, fuck, easily. If we keep the safeties where they're at with Morick and Harmon, I'm 100% cool with that. I don't really give a fuck. I mean, everybody has bad years, and a lot of people have bad sophomore years to begin with in the NFL, so it's not uncommon that he has bad games. But I do believe frickin' yeah, that's what I'd do for sure. I'd like to see Webb play out there more, 100%. And Kuntz, but we already fucking know that ain't going to happen for whatever reason, but whatever.
I'm just really excited for.
Like I said,
I've been on about it for the week. I'm just excited for, knocking on wood, Daniel Carlson breaking the NFL record for the most consecutive field goals. That's what I'm excited for.
Yes, right.
And I've been saying this. I'm like,
and
if he can do it, and if this team can win a Super Bowl with him, that's a Hall of Famer right there. And even though that sucks because he's a kicker, but
right, he's another Janikowski, just a legendary kicker on a
just our best player, just being our kicker. But
right,
and that's what makes me, because I appreciate Daniel Carlson more than anyone in this team, to be honest. Because as much as we talk about how we won those games, Daniel Carlson won us half of those games.
Yeah,
he won us at least 5 of those games. Yeah, he kept us in the game against Cincinnati in the wild card.
Yep.
And he so far hasn't missed any of his field goals this season. He's on pace. He's on pace to attempt one of the most field goals in NFL history and possibly not miss a single one. And that's what's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, look. Yeah, that would be one plus. It would be nice to see. Hopefully, he would get adequate media representation. Hopefully, he gets the credit he deserves because obviously records were meant to be broken. That would be one of the big positive takeaways, because a lot of times, when a team is not doing well, whatever sport it is, the team your fan is not doing well, you want to at least focus on really good players, the really good individual players that you have, because at least that's some degree of respect from the rest of the NFL world that you can sort of demand, and something you can call your own. So yeah, that would definitely be really good. And it would, obviously, to do it against a divisional rival would be great. What does he has? He needs 2 more to break the record, or 2 more to tie the record.
So he needs if you count playoffs, he needs 2 more to break it. But if you just want to talk about regular season, he needs, I think, 3 or 4 more. And last time we went against the Broncos, he went 4 for 4. So if he did that, he would break both. And
yeah, I mean
that's what just me just wanting this team to win, and then Carlson doing that, and then we lose every other game, because then that's just spitting Broncos in the face. It's like, hey, we may suck, but you still can't beat us even if we suck.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, with the Raiders, and this is across regimes now, if you ask me, but they're settling for field goals on offense. Their penchant for getting down the field once they're in the red zone, and then just completely malfunctioning from that point on. They could be in line for a lot of field goals, especially against the Broncos. Go ahead.
So we knew that, like, with Gruden, when it came to red zones, because his plays would then start getting a little predictable. Mm-hmm. What do you think the problem is when we make it to the red zone this season? Is it just player execution at this point?
I mean,
because every time we try to do a 2-point conversion, we can't get it for some reason.
But in the beginning of the year, we were ranked top 5. We were the 3rd best fucking red zone percentage team.
Well, that's because we always made it to the red zone.
with
But
Josh.
we can't score a touchdown in the red zone for
Right.
some reason.
No, we were the 5th best scoring touchdowns in the red zone in the
I
beginning.
think that was when we just started using Jacobs in the red zone.
Yeah.
Because we for some reason can't get a passing touchdown in the red zone.
Yeah, and I think that just comes. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Which I really like the
execution.
idea because I'm like, listen, if you're at the 10-yard line and you got 4 tries to score a touchdown, just use Jacobs.
Hell yeah.
Just
Dude,
use
if
him
it
4
was me,
times.
I'd pull fucking Zeus's sorry ass out of this motherfucker. Ship that bitch because I fucking can't stand that guy. I swear, he just runs into the wall every fucking time.
Yeah,
Did it
I
all
want to know what the
preseason.
problem is
I
with.
want Britton Browner and Jacobs in that bitch, and I want those two to fucking be our main backs.
I want to
And
know what
Jacobs
his
getting
problem
catching,
is.
and Britton's got fucking moves. So I'd love to see those two just go at it. Just
I-
let those two motherfuckers go at it, because man, I think you'd probably see pretty great shit. Because Britton, I'm telling you, dude, he's got one of the best stutter steps, dude, I've seen on a player in a while. I mean, I've watched that dude even in the preseason stutter step motherfuckers. 2-3 fucking players cut back, go right up for 10 fucking yards. That's hard as fuck to do. Like, he's got moves, and he has vision. Like, he has vision, dude. I don't care. Zeus don't have vision. Zeus
Yeah,
is gonna run into fucking players his whole career. I could already see it.
I
He's
was
gonna run into
really
players his
wondering
whole
as
career.
well what the problem with Zamir is because like he had a lot of hype too, especially since he had a really good year, good seasons in Georgia, but it seems every time he's put out there like twice or 3 times a game, he just only gets either 1 yard or -3 yards. He's only had one good play. I think that's when he ran for like 20 yards.
That one out to the
And he
outside
could have had a
because it was the fake
touchdown.
plays.
He could have had a touchdown if he just had a better stutter step.
Yeah. One play out of there, fucking all the way through the preseason to the regular season. This guy hit the wall every time.
I
Every
don't even think he
single
played during
time.
the preseason.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah, he played in there.
Oh
yeah,
wait,
Zeus most definitely played during the preseason.
okay. I could have sworn I heard news like he just wasn't hanging around, or was he not at practice during the offseason before preseason?
Nah, he was there. I would have remembered because it did one segment on
I
the
must be thinking
off-season
of a
training
different.
camp and stuff.
I must be thinking
Yeah.
of a different player then.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you can go back and watch video on him. He hits people the whole time. Every time, gets behind him, fucking hits them. Like, Zeus is the kind of guy where you're just gonna have to open up the fucking Red Sea and let this guy go. Like, that's what you're gonna need. Or trick play outside, where Britton and Josh, man. I mean, I feel like they're almost same types of player. They got a fucking real good edge to them both. I think Britton's got dog to him too. I mean, he'll fucking keep moving his legs even when he gets tackled, dude. Like, the guy's got power, man, and he's got really good vision. I mean, I don't know why. I know why they're playing Zeus, because he was a fucking fourth.
Yeah, he was like our second pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so fourth. So you think about it, I see that part, but I would go Britton Brown. I said that from day one. I love the dude's moves, man.
Heck, I can't wait for Sincere. He looks like he's gonna make defenders regret trying to tackle him.
Damn right.
He
Hey,
looks
dude,
like
I
all
mean,
he has to do is just keep his head like this, and some cornerback is just gonna get knocked out.
damn right. Facts, dude.
He's gonna be put on IR for concussion.
Amir does pretty good too. Like, Amir's got fucking game too.
That's because
Like, Amir's a good player.
Amir is a receiving running back, but Carr for some reason just can't throw the ball to him for some reason.
Yeah. You move off of fucking you move off of Bolden and Zeus, man. You still got a good lineup there with, even if you got off of Josh. I mean, I'm telling you, I'd go with Sincere McCormick, fucking Britton Brown, Amir. I'd take those 3 right there for sure. I mean, in that type of system, the fucking scat back type players in Josh's system, I mean, you have to think about this. Like, I've said this, if Sean Payton came in and run this team, I think he would have high success because that's his style of players. The players that were here are his style players. But when you're looking at Josh's style players, you're looking at 2 blocking tight ends that have a little bit of catching ability to them. You have fucking 2 receiver or 2 halfbacks that both got scat and a little bit of power to them. You look at your receivers; they're just basic that run routes, dude. Like, they have a system, dude. Then the players that are here, they don't. A lot of them don't fit that type of system, dude. Like you're still figuring out who your scat back is when you already know it was Amir, but you're over there trying to get Bolden, dude, because he came with you from fucking New England, but you didn't have the offensive line to be able to feed him like you did over there. You don't have the tight ends to do the same thing because you have one blocking / catch and receive or tight end, but then the other two are fucking receiver tight ends. So it's like you don't have what you need to do what you did there. So you go give them out the rest of this year. They go get 2 bigger body players on that right side. I hope to God they don't think just Illuminor, but fuck, you never know because these guys are crazy in the head. But hopefully they figure out by the end of the year this guy gave him more penalties than Leatherwood would have ever gave up. So this guy's a fucking, and not only that, the thing about Leatherwood was he didn't give up fucking 20, 30, 40-yard plays. Like every fucking time there's a good play, you bet your ass this dude getting a fucking penalty. Like you can just bet it. And freaking, I mean, you can, like I said, the team's there. It's a good damn fucking team. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Luminor, I'm totally willing to part ways with.
Not in a heartbeat.
I mean, obviously, Patriot guy. That on paper it made sense. Knows the system, quote unquote. But um, I think Thayer Munford. That's once again another young guy. Just stick with him rest of the year. What do you got to lose? Like
Facts.
it could be kind of fun. I mean, it's not basketball, but it could sort of be like basketball in the sense that, like, when your team's not doing very good, you have a bunch of really young players who play together and they gel and they have chemistry. And even if they're not world beaters and they're not really title contenders, at least not yet, you know, they could be fun to watch, and that, I mean, that's something in the very least we could ask for if they're not going to be a playoff team, because obviously the core right now, I mean, whether that's due to coaching or not, which I think a lot of it is, don't get me wrong. The veterans, the guys in the primes of their career, they haven't got it done. They're 2-7. So
I
and
think they're just. I think they're waiting until media says, "Oh yeah, Raiders have no chance of making the playoffs whatsoever." Like the -0% chance of making playoffs, because I feel like they're just trying, especially with Raider media, trying to like have that little hope, like, "Oh, remember when we were 6-7, we still made the playoffs?" It's just like they're just waiting. They're just waiting for that to happen. So
right.
then once media finally says there's no chance it can happen, they'll
Right.
probably just start every rookie at that point.
I mean, they regardless of what the media says, the coaching staff knows the deal. They know. I mean, even at 6-7, as hopeless as that situation seemed before they made that run, um, we'd have to win 4 games in a row now just to get to 6-7. And then of course, you have to win out again just
Yeah,
to.
but then last year we were a little lucky because we were facing
Of course.
teams that were like at the same par as us a little
Well, they were
bit.
Right.
worse, or else you had,
Yeah,
you had
but then
the
and now at the end of the season, you're facing teams like Chiefs, Niners. Even though the
Right.
Rams aren't still good, they're way better than us still.
mhm.
The Patriots, Bill Belichick, Steelers in Pittsburgh late in the
You still got to
season.
place the Chargers as well.
That game is going to be awful for us, as bad as the Pittsburghs are, because it's in Pittsburgh in the winter.
Chargers at home, then
Yeah.
maybe, and then Seattle
Oh
in
yeah,
Seattle.
Seattle,
So
and Seattle's a really good team right now.
yeah, and
So
you
it's
don't have
not
to
like
go
last
play
year.
in CenturyLink.
So it's not like last year. This year, the end of the season, you're facing a bunch of playoff teams.
Right. No, this and this is what I was saying. Like, you know, they were 1-4, fine. This was this stretch that we're in now that they've screwed up entirely. This was their chance to go like 5-4. If they're 5-4 right now, they beat the Broncos, they're 6-4. Even if they lose to Seattle, they're 6-5. Like, they're competing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, now they're done because, like you said, the back end of their schedule is just
Brutal.
Fuck, let's
Yeah.
be honest. If they didn't have a 17th game, we wouldn't even been in the playoffs anyway. So it'd be irrelevant the whole thing.
That is true.
It's like I say, there were so many fucking things that had to happen in order for it to even happen. Like that's why I hate when we were like,
Hey,
oh, playoff
I'm
team.
sorry
Like
to
we had
interrupt, but I'm gonna
fucking
go, guys.
we had the miracle fucking fall part, you know.
See you, Jeff. See you, Dustin.
Peace, man.
See you, Noah.
Later, bro. Have a good
Yeah.
night. I just feel like we had so many things had to come together in order for that to pan out.
Yeah, of course.
I'm glad that we made it to the playoffs, dude. I mean, I'm glad we had a good game against the
Right.
Bengals, but I mean, I never said like we would be a playoff team because the way that whole thing panned out, dude, the 4 out of 6, dude, fucking having to go into the Chargers. Chargers could have just went to a tie. Both teams could have gone. They, call the timeout. We go kick. A lot of things fall into place inside that deal. If they didn't have a 17th game for last season, wouldn't have been a conversation. Like I just say, like, I get it, dude. Like, yeah, did so many things happen to fall into the dominoes fall? Yeah, but that don't happen every year. That sure in the fuck don't happen every year. And if you're limping in like that to even get in there, that should just tell you one thing right away. I've always said teams solidify themselves in the playoffs, dude, between weeks 12, 13, easily, because they're good fucking teams. They've already beat the shit out of everybody else, dude. Like, and they do it every year. Like that's the thing. Like I hate when we just barely gonna limp up in that motherfucker. Like I get it. Like we had good players, but again, we didn't have those were in Gus Bradley's system and Ron Miles and all those guys. You had a lot of different pieces. Then you switch up, you go to 3-4, you're changing a whole entire scheme, bringing in other players, dude. You're doing a whole hell of a lot of shit and expecting the same exact result. Like I said, maybe they should have just gave Derek Carr fucking John Gruden's playbook and let him go do it because he probably could have did it. So, I mean, fuck it. You would have probably had a better chance at that. So, but either way, it is what it is. I just know, like I said, I mean, I'm a numbers guy. I look at the fucking numbers. The numbers are there for them to be good on offense. So, outside of that, I mean, if they can fix the defense and go out there, and I mean, we're not delusional. I know we ain't blind. So, I mean, there's numerous fucking games where they just went out and started dominating on players and then just got it given up. So, I mean, outside of that, it is what it is. So, 2-7, I agree. Do we go to Denver and post to lose? Yeah, because you're right. We want to get the best pick for that position, especially at this point, 100%. Do you think you'd do it? I don't know, because does Josh have like this fucking part in him that is like, hey, fuck this team for fucking firing me, not letting me go out, like that's the whole problem. That's the problem. It's like fucking all he got to do is say, don't call that jet sweep in this play. And guess what? They probably going to go win that game, like that's the shit that's crazy. That's what's fucking crazy, dude. Whole new set of downs. Derek Carr, you give Derek Carr 4 new downs, dude, going downfield. Like, that's the shit, dude. John Gruden made him look good at that because he always gave him the plays to be able to extend to the first down, dude. Like, they're not calling no crazy ass bullshit play like that. Have all the issue you want with his play calling in the open field, but I'm telling you, that shit's set up. Just go watch fucking his play calling the way he called. That shit's set up, dude. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And the thing is even with those type of plays, I've said it. I'll keep saying it. And I'll say it next week, and I'll say it the fucking week after that, dude, because they do it every single time. They put up high points. Defense gives up those fucking points, and still have a great fucking team on the offensive side, but the defensive side will give up those points. I mean, fuck, unless we change the game of football, I mean, last time I checked, greatness teams were fucking built like the Baltimore Ravens, fucking the Bears. I mean, Steelers, fucking multiple teams give up fucking points, dude. They didn't even have to have a lot of points. And yeah, it's a different era, but some of those are even in this current era right now. So it is then and now. So at the same time, you're supposed to go out there and contain the player. Otherwise, you just go play Patrick Mahomes and say, well, we ain't going to stop him. Just let him go score. You guys score with them. Like, but guess what? Their defense will fucking play. They ain't going to let you go do that. So I just say, like, I know if we get a defense that can fucking be quicker, younger, fucking, I think we can control a lot more.
I think another team you could compare to the Raiders is the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins, their defense has not been stalwart by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the Dolphins made a philosophical change. They decided to, part ways with a guy like Brian Flores, who was a really good defensive mind, had defensive guys motivated. They were playing really well, did really well with Xavier Howard. They switched over to Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel is more of a offensive minded guy. Obviously, I mean that's an offensive coordinator. I mean he's that's his thing, and they're putting up a lot of points. And all that matters is they have more points than the other team at the end of the game. So to me, it's just with the blown 17-point lead plus point leads now. I mean 3 already. That just can't happen. Unless you're losing on purpose, in which case why do we go out
Yeah,
and
but
get
that falls on the defense because the defense is not supposed to give up 17 fucking points. So it doesn't matter, like I said, unless we just canceled out the defense that's supposed to do their jobs. I mean, what's fucking defense out there for? Like, I just want to know, like, am I missing something? Because why in the fuck is the defense there? Because I played football my whole fucking life, so I'm pretty fucking aware why it's there. So I just want to know, why is the defense there in the NFL? Those fucking guys don't play the game. They're not supposed to fucking get stops. You go fucking draft people over there in New York, Sauce, all those fucking dudes, and they're fucking stopping on dudes, fucking putting up deals. They're letting Zach Wilson go win on 20-point fucking games. Derek Carr got 21 by the first half. Derek Carr got 21 points up there with fucking Jacobs and them in the first fucking half. So I'm just wondering what's the fucking difference here?
I mean, yeah. When you look at the macro, I mean, Patrick Graham's defense for the most part averages like 24 points a game, which isn't great. But with an offensive-minded team, with all the hype surrounding the offense this year, they should have been able to win those games. My whole point was that like this was supposed to be an offensive-oriented team. Like this wasn't supposed to be a team that only gives up like 14 points a game. They didn't engineer or set up the team that way. So, I'm just saying like you could put the blame on the offense as well, because there's also an issue of like timely offense, like in not necessarily clutch moments, because I guess clutch usually means like late in the fourth quarter, but at the same time it's like for example, like they were up 17-0 on the Jaguars. Jaguars come back, score a touchdown. Okay, like you would think that the offense would say like, okay, we need to go down, score a touchdown. They didn't. They settled for a field goal. Jaguars came back, equalized it, so they're up by 10. And then after that, the offense just disappears. Did they? I don't think they scored a point in the second half of that game against the Jaguars. That's pathetic. There's no excuse for that.
What was the score in that game?
27-20.
That's my point. 20 points in the first half.
And they zero, nothing.
That's my point, though. My point is, so listen, I don't know how more I can put it, but
I don't know how much more
if a team goes out, right, and you have 4 quarters in a game, right? There's 4 quarters in a game, right?
Yes.
These guys are averaging 20. So look, in the beginning of the season, all the way to that Saints game, the Raiders averaged 27.2 points on 2 fucking quarters per game. So first half or second half, however they did it, or in 3 quarters of some games, they averaged at the same pace as other fucking teams. Just like you said, 27, and the points came in the first half. Just like the game in the Colts, same fucking type of shit. The points come at a high production level and then just fall off instantly. Just fall the fuck off like it don't exist. And that's why I'm just saying they are putting up equal points to a team like the Eagles now that are taking 4 fucking quarters, four, And that's with people like fucking Jalen, AJ, fuck all those dudes. So 4 full quarters of games to get those type of points. That's why I'm saying, like, that shit has to be rigged. How the fuck do you get those type of stats, those type of points, and then just fall the fuck off the face of the earth? Like, you just disappeared. And it happens in 2 quarters.
I mean, one explanation, because, I mean, yeah, we can assume that these coaches are great. And if we're assuming that, then yeah, they must
Bad
be.
coaches don't put up points like that, man.
I'm just saying a simpler explanation is that they are bad coaches because they're not taking into account that, football is a game of inches, and you have to take into account how a game's going, what you need in order to win, and in winning time, this team has not been getting it done. I mean, because like, look, the Falcons had a 28-3 lead on the Patriots in the Super Bowl. This is the sport at the highest level. You can't tell me that they're losing on purpose. But they blow the lead because
they light up.
The coaching staff didn't get it done. The team didn't get it done. So it's just like
Kyle Shanahan. That's who that was. Kyle Shanahan ran that offense. Kyle Shanahan ran that offense in Atlanta, and motherfucking Josh ran that offense in New England. And with 1:38 left in that third fucking quarter, they made the greatest comeback in NFL history, probably in Super Bowl. So there's a huge deal. One team led up, and the other fucking gave it full throttle, and fucking did it in not even 1 quarter and 2 minutes. Like, that's why I say, like, I believe Josh has got it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I think Josh got it. I truly believe it. Now, I'd bet hella hardcore money if we had a fucking defense. And don't get me wrong, there are plays, like I say, where we could have fucking won games, but I don't have any other explanation for it. Why would Josh or Mark? I don't care. Like you said earlier, if you got the money out there and investors or not, if you say, hey, man, this guy is going to be straight fucking trash, he's not going to win shit, we need to get rid of this fucking guy right now. Like, I'm pretty sure, like you said, they can probably come up with the money. But somebody's going to be taking in a lot of fucking debt. And right now, it ain't the time for Mark to do that because Carol's old, dude. And if she fucking dies, this dude's fucking screwed. So I just saying, like, straight up, he'll have to sell assets, dude. He's going to minimize that team regardless. He's going to minimize it regardless. So I don't know.
I mean, look, obviously from a business standpoint, ticket revenue is not going to go down. And this is probably a large reason why they led the team in ticket revenue last year, is because it's the ultimate destination city and stadium. So if Raiders fans are not going to come out and support the team because they suck, the opposing team is going to come and watch a game, especially if it's an easy win. I know this as a fan, and having friends and family members who are fans too, they say to themselves, like, well, first of all, the game in general is going to be cheaper. I mean, with Allegiant Stadium, that's not the case. But the other side of it is, I think this, my team actually has a chance of winning. I actually have a chance of seeing my team live win a game. I did this myself. I was the stupid asshole last year who went to MetLife Stadium and said, the Raiders have a chance of beating the Giants. And I went to the game, and it blew up in my face. But the whole point is, fans from opposing teams are going to come out and still, pay Mark Davis. Essentially, they're going to line his wallet anyway.
They're not going to lose ticket sales in Las Vegas because they're dude. You got to look at it. The thing in Las Vegas is you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Being in Vegas is because there's a lot of people that want to go on vacation, and then let alone do they want to go to Vegas. So they got to have another reason. They're like, man, my team's going to be in Vegas on this type of the year. We can go to Vegas and see my team, like, that's why I think it's really good for them. So I don't think they're ever going to drop in ticket sales. But this is the other thing too. If you load up, dude, and you say you come out, like, right. So look, you're telling me that the Raiders would cut Derek Carr if he sets record with Davante Adams in his first year here. So you're telling me they're going to cut him and cut that fool off this team?
They're going to trade him probably.
No, he can't. He has no trade clause. You can't trade him for shit.
Well,
He'll laugh at you. He'll be like, "Fuck no, you ain't trading me shit." He'll tell you straight up, "I'm Christian. I fucking got money. Fuck you." Like straight the hell up. So I don't even think that's even a debatable conversation. So it's
well,
either you cut him and eat 5.6 million fucking dollars, or you keep him. That's the two options you have with him. So I think straight up, dude, like if he goes out and breaks the fucking Devontae Adams record and his fucking first deal for a best receiving deal, how could you not? Why would you? Like that wouldn't even make sense. That wouldn't even make sense. He's gone out and gave Waller and fucking Renfro 1,000 fucking yard seasons and people praised him. Motherfucker go out there and give Devontae first year out over here in this shitty ass offense gonna fucking have a chance to be fucking one of his best years. And motherfucker, again, there's another valid point to even prove the offense is not slouching. So like I say, I think there's a lot more to this bullshit than anything. Go put that defense out there, trot it out onto the fucking field. Young, fast, powerful, fucking big names. Like I said, you can go with Will Anderson or fucking Jalen Carter. I mean, you got two big fucking dudes just right there. Big names, fucking bringing fucking people. Like I said, if you can get fucking Adrian Carter in the second round, even later, say you trade off Jacobs and go grab another motherfucker. Like, that's why I'm just saying they have the perfect trade capital of anybody at the moment. So I don't know. I think if they build right, you're going to get a good defense out of this draft. There's no fucking doubt. And you can pick up a speed receiver and a quarterback and this and that later. But unless you just think you're going to totally rebuild and say CJ ain't coming in the first year, Bryce ain't coming in, dude out of Kentucky ain't going to just come in here and win first year. So I don't know, man. Like I say, it just goes around the same story because it's the same outcome every time. It's like the team's there offensively, the points are there, the fucking people go and score. Fucking if the defense just fucking got their shit together, is able to fucking close out. I mean, Josh Jacobs running for 140 fucking yard, 150 fucking 3 games consecutively in a row, bro. If you're clock managing on fucking yardage like that, you should be fucking dominating games. You should be able to win with fucking 10 and fucking 17 points when you run the ball like that. That's how fucking games are won.
If you notice, since those games, the opposing defensive coordinators have figured out, you know what? If we just get rid of those running lanes and we make it an emphasis to not give Jacobs an easy time running the football, the Raiders are going to completely choke. They're going to panic, and it's worked. And you know, it's really sad how one-dimensional they're. I mean, there's no creativity. And this is what I was saying about Andy Reid. Like Andy Reid would figure out how to get bums off the street. He would probably make Keelan Cole a way better player than he's been now. But the offense is one-dimensional. You know, I mean, they have some nice things, but they blow leads too. And part of blowing leads is not putting up points too. It's a whole holistic systematic failure on the part of the entire team. I mean, yeah, giving up points is certainly part of it, but you know, you can't put up 0 points in an entire game against a bad team like the Saints, and you can't have 0 points in the second half against a bad team like the Jaguars. So this team, you know, it certainly does seem like at first this was not a tank. Obviously, this was a competitive team. And we know this. We were talking about this in the offseason. We were talking about all this hype, you know, how like we have a chance to win the division. If we go back to these live shows that we did and we watched them, we gave our preseason win predictions. We were all saying like 10, 11 plus wins.
I said 12 and 5. I said 12 and 5. Worst 10 and 7.
Yeah, exactly. So this obviously wasn't a tank. I think any coaching staff that knew what it was doing would have been able to figure this out. But they don't know what they swung and missed. So now it's a tank. Now, you know, we're being sold on. They're going to get their own players, and I will believe it when I see it. But I'm really not. I'm not sold on it, and honestly, just out of sheer frustration for all this money that I've spent on this team, for them to be like this, as Mark Davis, I would have canned definitely McDaniels.
Hey, I
Um,
believe Mark needs to sell the fucking team and put somebody in there that's a business fucking guy and got money. Because then he can just wipe away these fucking contracts with Josh and fucking John. He can start all over by whoever the fuck he wants to go get because he has money to do that shit. And I think that's what they need to fucking do and take us into a different fucking era that's going to be winning. You know, like I said, you got to have money to go get people. Like, Mark is not Al. And if we keep living like, oh, he is Al, dude, we're fucking screwed. I'll just say that shit right now, dude. Like, he is not fucking Al, dude. Those times are long fucking over. I believe people like to live in the past. I believe people like to live on something that we did at one time, but that shit's gone, bro. That shit gone. So you need to start fucking thinking about the real deal shit. You need to think about, this guy really the guy to fucking run it? Is this the fucking guy that needs to own it? No, fuck no. He's proven that he makes all the wrong mistakes. He hires all the wrong people. I would fucking, like I said, I would just force him to have to sell it. Like, as much as I'd hate, dude, like, part of me does, like, you go and get people like Magic and them that have investors that do have strategy at fucking owning winning shit and have that type of mentality, you know, like, you have the people that do it.
right.
So, like, for me, that's the kind of shit I would kind of aim for if it was me. Because, I mean, he's not going to do that, man. He's over there. He's living Vegas life, dude. Like, if you get a guy that's billionaire, like him, physically a billionaire. Mark is not physically a billionaire, dude. Like, if he was physically a billionaire, like, you know, and say 10, 15 billion, Vegas ain't gonna affect his ass, dude. He already got the money. He's a business dude. He's fucking all about making that money, dude. So, and the odds are, dude, he's just gonna be there to make it. You get people like Mark, dude. He's come from fucking Oakland, that jack shit, dude. Now they're the top fucking thing in Vegas, dude. Party life, showing up here, showing up there. You know, fucking buying this, like that. Even him buying the women's basketball team and winning the championship. You're still not getting a lot of money. Like, you're getting money, but you're not getting all kind of fucking crazy money, you know? He needs the Raiders to win a Super Bowl. And if he's sitting there thinking like 3-4 years, which he needs like 1 or 2 for sure, dude, to get his game cap up. And if he's able to pull that off and do it, he'll be fine. But again, I'm just gonna say, I've said it. I do not think he should be the owner. I would make him sell the team. I swear to God, I would, dude. Like, they're never going to change the Raiders, dude. The emblem, the fucking deal, they're not changing that shit, dude. Then they can't. The NFL has that shit on lock, dude. Like, you own Mark sells. So if Mark sells the team, you'd have to sell the logo and the deal with it. You know, like, otherwise, what the fuck's the point in selling the team? So I just think freaking, I don't know. I just think that he should have to sell it for 100%, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting to try to figure out what the politics of the NFL and the rest of the owners is like right now. I mean, it could very well be that the state of the Raiders, the NFL doesn't really give a shit about, as long as it's a destination city where ticket sales are. I mean, if you know, if ticket sales are really not if they were down, if there was no fan loyalty, if they weren't able to sell any games, then maybe from a business standpoint, the rest of the owners in the NFL might come to Mark Davis and say, like, okay, we have a true problem. I mean, for example, like Dan Schneider, one of the biggest reasons he's basically being forced to sell this team is because he's just refused to renovate the stadium, from the standpoint of safety, and I'm sure from the standpoint of like demand to want to go and watch a football game there. All those things are at stake, and that's a big problem. It's a big eyesore for the league. I'm sure they're losing money. You know, it's just not good business. So, but you compare that to Allegiant. Allegiant is brand new. It's beautiful, state of the art. I'm sure it's a spectacular concert venue as well. Um, Great venue for many other things. I wouldn't be surprised if they start having soccer matches there, all kinds of
You do
stuff.
have
So
soccer matches there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's probably there are gonna be all kinds of sports teams that are gonna follow the Raiders now. I mean, there's talk of the Oakland A's moving out to Vegas.
They are going to Vegas.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a Vegas basketball team at some point. There's already the NBA Summer League that takes place
Yep.
in
Yep.
Vegas every year. So, I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it's like it could very well be the owner's just like, if you suck, you suck. But if if the opposing fan bases are going to fill up the seats for you because they just, they want to see football in Las Vegas, then does it really matter? But if not, if the NFL's sensibilities are more geared towards, this needs to be better from a purely football standpoint as it pertains to your team, um, something needs to change. I mean, it was one thing was Oakland's a small market. The fans were already all there, so filling up a stadium probably wasn't that. It wasn't hard to do. I know for a fact it wasn't because the demand was already there. But now the stadium's away from the fans, but it's a destination city, so you have that to weigh as well. So
And the Raider fans are going to always show up in Vegas. I mean, even when we're fucking out, we're still half that stadium easily. So the thing is like when you're going to your own stadium and being half fan, half away, like half of theirs and yours, that's kind of sucks, because you go to the Chiefs, that ain't fucking happening. Not even, no way in hell that's
right,
going to happen. But again, if they rebuild their place, just like the Patriots, all I'm saying in the end of the whole day, right? In the whole day, like I'm telling you, just the numbers just don't lie, but I'll get off that either way. So just in the whole end of the day, if Zingler comes in here and he has this fucking plan that he has a 4-year plan, but he can get it done in 3, because that's where I feel like he should be, at least on a fucking pretty good winning set at that point. Uh, then I have no issue with the whole fucking problem. And if we go into this season in the off season and fucking end up fucking getting rid of Carr, I think it's going to be the stupidest fucking thing. He's 30 years old, dude. He fucking does play at a good fucking level when he has good players. Even when he had lesser players, he's done better. Even when he had a shittier line, he's done fucking better. So I'm not trying to say like Carr. Listen, this is how I look at it. Then if the NFL football team is not built off one individual player, period. Carr is not the greatest player for the Raiders. We all fucking know that. He is not the greatest fucking player, but he sure in the fuck ain't the worst. So there's no fucking way that he's the fucking problem. So I do not fucking believe I would fucking make that move. I think that'd be a dumb fucking business move. I would not do it. And if you do, I don't know how other you're going to tell anybody else that knows football that you're just going to get CJ or Bryce and fucking win. Period. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, that's not happening. And that's unrealistic as shit, dude, to even hope. If we even look at the quarterbacks through the last fucking 15, 20 years, we can just bet that's probably not fucking happening. So, again, if I'm just going to want to win and say that Josh and them know their shit, it would make – listen, you already signed your quarterback. You already signed your fucking wide receiver. You signed your fucking tight end. You haven't signed your halfback, so you can still sign his ass. You signed your slot receiver. You've already signed your offensive fucking line. Like Colton's there. You're fucking Andre. You're good in your spots. Parham just comes in. Illuminor, I don't even know his shit, nor do I care. Then you have Mumford over there. Like, you've already paid for your shit. Like, where on your defense, dude, just because you brought in Bly Nichols, he ain't fucking panning out. Motherfucker ain't getting in there getting sacks, putting pressures. What do they got? Max got 7 sacks. They got 3. The whole defense got 3 sacks. Fucking Deron Harmon got 2 fucking picks and fucking a meat. Outside of that, who else? Like, all these fucking things, like, just because they brought in the players didn't work. Those players didn't fucking work. Chandler Jones, motherfucker, he ain't got a half a sack. He ain't fucking done jack fucking shit. He been gone the whole fucking time. Rocky Sin, he been playing fucking good. Rocky Sin played real good. Fucking go over there. Fucking Nate Hobbs played real good till he got fucking hurt. Meek Robinson playing like a fucking dog when I hated that motherfucker. Hated him. Hated me. Say, fuck, shit that motherfucker out of here. But he playing real fucking good. So Trayvon Morick, dude, he's fallen off, but still plays good. So I don't have part. Dron Harmon playing good. Like that front line down there just ain't getting no fucking pressure in there. Ain't fucking doing it. It's just not doing it. Linebackers fucking suck, dude. Fucking Jalen Brown, he fucking sucks, dude. Martin was doing good. Retired, fucking Diablo fucking injured, all these fucking deals. I would just go fucking, you put hella players there and you have your youth, you have your backups, you have good fucking team at that point.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I think that's all the time I have for tonight. I don't know about you guys, but
no.
Yeah. Just on a final note, no, was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap it up for tonight? Do you?
I guess this is all to say. The season's already over. We might as well see if McDaniels can do anything, try and adjust how he's coached thus far. The players, they're iffy. We don't really know what they're thinking. We only hear really one side, and that's from the leadership team. We don't really know what the core players are thinking. The guys, the dogs, the guys in the secondary, they're very quiet on this team. So, there's lots of rumors, and I think the best thing to do is just ignore them because they're just going to try and get clicks, and they're going to try to cause and divide the nation, like you guys said earlier. That's all, I guess.
Yeah, it's a really good point too. The core, as you put it, like I said, the veterans in their prime that they either were already here and that they extended, or players that they went out and got, like Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones. Devontae's thoughts have been made pretty clear up to this point, but Chandler Jones is still a huge question mark, not only in terms of play on the field, but in terms of how he feels about this team. So, yeah, long story short, just to wrap up today's episode, there's going to be a lot of changes in this offseason, any way you cut it, whether it's going to be through the draft or through some sort of transaction, be it like free agent signings or trades. I will definitely agree that the defense needs improvement. Having said that, the offense needs improvement as well in terms, not only in terms of personnel, but in terms of, I would probably say simplifying the offense, just creating some kind of workable script or ideas for or concepts rather for this team to really rally around. So with that, as always, thank you, Dustin and Noah, as well as everyone else who was here with us earlier, for joining us on the show. Another great one. Had a lot of great commentary, had a lot of great back and forth. Once again, went for a long time. That's really great to see. Thank you to all the mods in the chat for holding it down. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you to everyone who contributed, not only with their viewership, but also with their comments. That was really great. Thank you to everyone who gave great comments in the chat. Just a reminder, so for all three of our channels now, for our original Death Star Report channel, for the DSR Aftermath channel, and for the Nation's Nightmare channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, as well as always tell everyone you know about us and what we do. Our schedule has now moved from Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to tune in on any one or all three, or as many days as you can for that. I'm going to see if we have the links again for those channels.
Just one more question before we get off. Do you guys think the first and second round pick for Adams was worth it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
What do you think, Noah?
Adams. Yeah, I think the trade was worth it. You can keep any last year in the receiving core apart from Renfro, but he hasn't as productive this year. So yeah, I think without him, this would probably be the worst offense in the league, passing offense at least.
Now, do you think it's crazy that even in the system that he's in right now, that he can break his record?
No, I don't think
Oh, I
so.
mean the guy's all time.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Noah.
mean, he's still getting the same amount of targets as he's getting Green Bay. You know, whether it be in a different circumstance, or it's kind of due to injury than it is lack of talent. But I don't think I'm surprised. I can't say that I saw it coming, but I'm not surprised.
As you think about it, him being with Aaron Rodgers and all the players over there being injured and still getting the yardage that he is with Carr. Like, that's what I think is crazy is that you see Aaron Rodgers with the teams he's had and where he force fed Devontae, and then you see Derek Carr over here in this system and they're force feeding him 10 plus receptions in certain games, and he's dominating, just straight dominating. But I thought I'd just ask.
Oh shit.
We can end whenever you're ready, Jeff. I just wanted to ask that question.
No, I mean,
back on.
yeah, just to answer your question. I mean, look, Devontae Adams is all time. He's going to produce regardless. I mean, there have been some ridiculous games where like he's only been targeted once. He's at 2 yards. I mean, it's honestly disgusting for him to not use the offense. For them. I think he deserves. But at the same time, he made his decision, and I, for selfish reasons, hope that he stays. But as far as play on the field is concerned, certainly it's not. This is not Devontae's fault at all. So I think it's worth it in the sense that if better football was to be surrounded, if you were to be surrounded by better football, then they'd be in a much better position, and he would be a big part of that. Like I said, I put the links to all three of our channels: DSR Aftermath, our original DSR account, YouTube channel, as well as Cortez's Nation Nightmare channel. All three YouTube channels that we've streamed from tonight. Like I said, just remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell everyone and anyone you know about us and what we do. Our schedule is now Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And just like I said, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Dustin, Cortez, and Noah, as well as everyone else who contributed on the panel today. Thank you to the mods in the chat. Thank you to who commented and was viewing. And hope you guys have a great weekend. And
next time I'm
Raiders,
right before I leave will be the next show, and then when we do Wednesday, I'll be in Washington.
Oh, nice. So, okay, yeah, you should live stream the game. Well,
I'm going to, and hopefully I get an answer from Dustin.
We'll know here on Monday. Monday, we'll know.
We'll know. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Later. I'll hit you up in a minute.
All right.
I'll hit you, Dustin.
Have a good weekend,
Noah.
Later, Noah.
You too. Later,
Join up on Monday, Noah, if you want, bro.
Screw them donkeys. Let's go.
Fuck the donkeys.